think it's on
Hello.
my desk.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, wow, my hair is really blue.
Oh, Chief.
it's
You
super
delightful
blue.
scamp.
He didn't surprise us. He counted down.
Oh, I know. He's a delightful scamp.
I thought he was counting for fun. He does count for fun sometimes.
Yeah, he's kind of like the count. He'll just like start doing a arithmetic and addition. It's
Or like that owl in the Tootsie Roll commercial. 1, 2,
2,
3.
all right. I'm eager to see what Chief's note is for the. Hi everyone, we're the Wednesday Club. I guess we should start that, huh? We're the Wednesday Club. We're joined by a very special guest, Markeia McCarty. Yay!
Hey. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me. I'm so excited about this. Because look at all of this, and there's rum cake.
You
I'm
brought
like,
toys.
what?
I'm so
many
excited.
toys.
Oh, it's so good.
Some of them shoot Nerf darts.
I couldn't help myself.
Oh man, I feel you. I'm definitely.
Well done, Chief.
So
Well
what
done.
are we looking at? What are we talking about today?
Oh, okay, well, all of these are just random toys that I've gotten myself and then other people have given me. So I actually haven't had to buy any Black Panther stuff yet.
Nice.
I was about to say
And-
this is an exciting Ant-Man collection that you brought for us.
Yeah.
We're all excited.
If you can't tell, we are talking about Black Panther today.
Yay!
Markeia is maybe the biggest Black Panther fan I know. I think you might like. So background for those of you who don't know, Markeia and I worked on Marvel movie news over at AfterBuzz. Then I got a full-time job here at Geek and Sundry, which is great. So I had to quit that show, but Markeia is still doing it and holding down that fort and running it really well, probably better than I ever did. So yeah, she.
Just out of curiosity, where can people find or when Marvel Movie
And-
News?
Oh,
is, is Coy your co-host these days?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, we
Yes,
can-
Coy Jandra is my co-host. You
He's
can
dreaming.
find Marvel Movie News. We are 2 p.m. Tuesdays. It is a live show, but you can also see past episodes. This last one that we just did, we did Black Panther reactions. Spoiler-free Black Panther reactions. I got a little emotional. I can't help it. Black Panther has been a part of my life for a while. I mean, I was a military kid, so.
What branch?
Mom's Navy.
Cool.
Yeah.
Army brat, but I like you anyway.
As you should. Navy's awesome. Army and Marines, though, they never get along. But yeah, it was one of those things when you move base to base and you basically take America with you, with wherever you go. And out of the things that I would be able to pack, moving anywhere from every 3 months to every 2.5 years, and that's your childhood. Black Panther was one of those things that kept going with me. So yeah, he's been a part of my life for a while. So it's
So we are excited to talk to you about all
yeah.
of that. We're going to be talking lots of Black Panther from the beginning of him, where he started to where we're at now. Talison's going to be playing with the gauntlets the whole time. But before we get into all that, it is time to get into the Daily Wednesday!
Ah! I keep hoping I'm going to shoot
Not
a dart.
shoot yourself with the gauntlet.
But I
when
might,
you
'cause
when
you
you
did-
crank it
Exercise
and then
safety.
you shoot it out.
You're not doing it right. No,
It might not
see?
be
Joe, you
loaded
missed
right.
it.
Oh, my bad.
He hit the button and then
And
it
it just went-
sort of left.
In very much in very me fashion. Very excited.
Yeah. Now it should work.
All right. Oh! Okay, I made
done.
note of where that went, so I'll get it after
Nice.
the show. This is
all
super
right,
cool.
here we go.
Right?
Daily Wednesday.
Yeah.
Skidoo.
Yeah.
Here we go. Okay. Yeah, I figured that out with the timestamps. Can be right on stream. Thank you. Amy, Tal, and Matt.
Hello.
I may not be as eloquent as I want to be, but I hope I can make clear my love and appreciation for you all. I'm a middle school librarian,
Whoa!
which is a great sentence. And I watch your show each week as a reminder to stay curious. And while I can't put everything you discuss in my library, I still get great ideas now and again. Glad that we can help with that. Tal, your love of the strange and unusual has allowed me insight into my unique students, those 11 and 12-year-olds that are already far more interested in the dirty and the dark. Making sure I have things that interest those kids helps me from censoring myself when awesome things come out. Matt, the depth of your heart astounds me and reminds me to be kind and daring. On a personal note, every time you mention Brittany, you remind me that soulmates exist and maybe I should keep getting out there. You should. You absolutely should. You beautiful librarian, you. Also, I blame you for my Doctor Strange binges. I will gladly take credit for that anytime. Amy, and your heart is a kind soul, and your head lives the comic book version of the Library of Alexandria.
Dang.
Wow, you said you weren't going to be eloquent. That's poetic. And I strive to be a tenth the teacher you are to us each week. Thank you for being your genuinely open and amazing self and reminding me that showing compassion and kindness is courageous. Because of your show, I've discovered stories for myself, whether it's Hellboy, Doctor Strange, Promethea, or any of 100 other names now on my to-be-read pile. I've even added a few for my own middle schoolers, though I've kept Wick Div at home.
Good call.
Keep that for yourself. Good call. More than that, and the thing for which I will forever be indebted to you, you've rekindled a love for graphic art in me that has made me better at my job. If you ever get the urge to come to the Northeast to teach a bunch of middle schoolers about comics, I'd love to have you. Librarian Liz.
Librarian Liz.
P.S. Tal, I hope your birthday present I and the European Wednesdays sent you has finally gotten to you. If it hasn't, get excited because it's pretty awesome.
Oh dear.
It is here.
Oh, double.
Also, I forgot to include our lovely graphic novel section. It's only just begun this year, but it's already well loved, and I can't wait to add some manga to the collection's best wishes. Do we have those pictures loaded into the TriCaster? Producer Liz? No? That's okay. Here. There you go.
Oh, wow.
Take a nice little look.
Oh, it says pop and bang.
Liz.
Crack.
Liz?
I love how it's decorated.
Now is the gift time?
Yeah.
Okay.
2 letters underneath the
Aw.
wrapping of the purse.
Oh, come on, you didn't read the title of Cabbage's Kings in comic books.
Oh, that's so
It's
good.
amazing.
That's nice.
So, Tal.
So like
Oh dear.
There you go.
Oh dear. Oh dear. I'm already embarrassed. This is. Ah!
There are things to read that were underneath the socks.
Oh God. Okay.
Is he not supposed to
I
see
see the
the
word
socks
first.
I was
Yeah.
telling him.
Oh dear. Oh God. And there's even like there's
It's
even like
sealed.
yet? Aw,
with
isn't it nice?
with happy.
Whoa, is that cool? That is some beautiful
There's some,
handwriting.
yeah, and there's some wonderful.
Penmanship.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Penmanship.
Dear Taliesin, happy birthday. We were a few European Wednesdays who were positively appalled when we heard that you knew next to nothing about
Asterix.
Asterix. But luckily, you have a birthday coming up, so we decided to rectify it.
Nice.
We then curated a little list of our favorite and press-ganged poor Liz into being our middleman.
Yay,
Excellent.
Liz!
Please try to look past the gender and racial issues of these books.
The past. It's okay.
The past, it's a place where things happen that we're sometimes embarrassed of. Some parts of them didn't age well. Yeah, I'm used to that. But they are still part of most European readers' scholarship education, therefore with Tintin, Donald Duck, Lucky Luke, and we love them dearly. I feel you. We look forward to hearing your opinion on them in a hopefully upcoming episode on European comics. Yes. Wish you the happiest of birthdays. From Charlie, I'm
Cillian.
I'm
It's Charlie.
Cillian, Alice is
Alice is a Cecilia, Liz is Librarian
wow,
Liz,
Librarian Liz.
and
Fran.
Fran Partridge.
Partridge. Oh dear. I'm very excited. And now I'm English. I don't know how long that's going to be.
Wait, the other letter. There were 2 letters.
There was 2
Yeah,
letters. There's another letter.
second.
Okay, I'm not even gonna look. All right. Read me second. Oh my God, more.
Liz did it in order. Amazing.
And there's, oh God, these stickers are so good. Okay. Taliesin, don't let the European Wednesdays mislead you. I am a willing accomplice in that all the Astra comics and sent them to my house. Enjoy your gift. The crazy socks I enclosed is my contribution. Just congratulations and much good cheer on your most happy of birthdays. Happy reading. Liz, Librarian Liz, P.S. I couldn't help it. Lisa Frank is my fault. Thank you. The Lisa Frank is amazing.
Oh my God!
Lisa Frank.
My
really
lovely wife
enjoying-
Brittany.
So
That's her.
good.
She loves Lisa Frank.
Lisa Frank is great. Last night we were having that conversation about Lisa. Oh man.
Really?
Yeah, about the Speed Racer movie. Have you ever seen the Speed Racer movie?
Bits and pieces of
It's
it.
so much
Yeah.
better than
It's
it
so
should
much
be.
better than it should be.
Really?
Like,
We've heard it's terrible, and then you're
It's
going to
not.
sit down and be like, okay, it fails at certain things and it
But it's-
succeeds wildly at others.
But it is- but
I
it
think
is-
it's a really interesting movie.
It is like Lisa Frank with testosterone, though, isn't it? It's like testosterone Lisa Frank.
Yeah, Brittany threw a Lisa
Intense.
Frank birthday party.
Intense.
last
Cars and
Oh,
fight.
fun.
Oh my God. Oh, mushroom socks. Oh, and tiny stripes. Oh, I'm going to wear these all out of order in so many episodes. This is so exciting.
This is so good.
Oh, thank you.
It's gonna be.
So
Oh, wait, you
show
wear
show
them
them
on
all
different-
off so that our Wednesdays can create
Oh,
a
yeah.
drinking game.
So
for
there'll
every
be
time you wear
there's
them.
the yellow socks. There's the blue and orange, the blue checkers, mushrooms, and the red orange stripes. So
Tiny stripes.
Tiny stripes. So I'm already like trying to figure out what's going to pair with what.
So good.
I'm very excited.
Well,
Because like for once, today is one of the few times I'm actually matching my socks. I almost never do.
Oh no.
But they're the rainbow socks. So
Yeah, rainbow socks
they're
should be.
they're
matched.
70s rainbow.
Nice.
Oh, very nice.
Nice.
I didn't get the rainbow memo. I'm
Oh my
wearing
God.
bacon socks.
Guys,
that my
this
niece
is-
got
It's
me.
so good though.
My
Oh
niece
my
got me
God, guys,
bacon
this is so
socks.
ridiculous. I can't even. Oh my God.
Oh, whoa, those are beautiful.
I am so. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Oh, Susan Cleopatra.
I'm gonna show these to the camera.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, I should do that.
Yeah.
It even looks like Elizabeth Taylor. I'm so excited.
Oh, that's awesome.
This is ringing like a dim bell for me, like when I lived in Britain. It's like these.
Oh yeah, we'll put them on the table. This, like these, and like the what's the one with the strange little hippopotamus creature that comes from like
Moomins.
Hungry Hippo.
Moomins. I almost got you a Moomins thing in
I
Germany.
wrong?
I came very close.
I'm getting obsessed with Moomins. It's a thing.
Moomins are great. I had a girl who used to work at the Golden Apple really turned me on to Moomins.
So Asterix were
God.
some of the first comics I ever read because
Wow.
my aunt, who had also been married to someone in the service, had been stationed in Germany and brought back French comics in German that we just read, and you can figure out what's happening because it's amazing cartooning.
Wow, those are.
yeah.
I cannot wait. Oh,
Like
they're
I
so
barely
pretty.
remember it, but I really remember that the big guy with the stripes and his
Obelix.
pants going up to here. I remember that guy.
Yep.
Oh wow, look at that. Oh, it's so pretty. Oh yeah, no, I'm not. I can't. Yeah. I'm so excited.
Yep.
Okay.
So sweet.
Amy, do you want to read
Yeah,
the last
yeah.
one?
Sure. Having now stolen all of Taliesin's comics.
Yep. Yeah. No, it's. And then you're
Tell us
gone
we'll never
tonight.
get them back.
Thank you.
Save for last. This may be read on air. Excellent. Dear Amy, Taliesin, and Matt, art. Enclosed are 2 pieces of fan art that you put a call out for. Ocean Man from last week. And
Yes!
Ocean Man.
and an absinthe piece from way back in October. Now that you have the Daily Wednesday, I could send it in for you to see, and I think Matt may remember it. He retweeted several of the work in progress shots and the finished piece tweet. Finished piece tweet. There we go. Which I truly appreciated.
Wow.
Oh, it's this! I remember
my
this!
absinthe.
Oh, my absinthe.
What episode was that in? I can't remember.
Don't remember. It's all
It was a
blur
great
now.
quote, though. I think Amy said
Well,
that
we were
one.
talking about Frankenstein, I think.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
the Mary
It was the Mary Shelley, like-
Maybe it was the horror episode.
Oh,
Yeah, it
Hold
was.
My
It might have been the
Absinthe.
horror absinthe.
So, I still
gorgeous.
want that as a shirt.
You,
That's
you want
so
to try to? So this.
And look, you can see like the WC kind of like in the negative space in the
Oh,
background.
wow.
So cool.
It's so good. It's so beautiful. And then he says, I hope Mac Griff 909 and his son like the Ocean Man fan art.
Ah,
God, it's so good!
It's an excellent character.
look at that.
Oh,
Wow. Look at
He
Ocean
rose from the
Man.
sea to save us from ourselves. Ocean Man.
Ocean Man.
Ocean Man.
I also.
Ocean Man,
let's
please
see.
take me by the hand, make me understand. I'm trying. Yeah, that's a real song, and it's in my head now.
I also get a kick out of creating fan art in order to fangirl over a show that's all about fangirling over art. This imagery makes me happy. And Taylor, I'm sorry if I got your gender wrong in a guess just now. Finally, I have more fan art planned and would like to know if you were to be portrayed as any superhero or anti-hero, who would it be? And yes, I'm asking Matt as well. I'm giving him the opportunity for someone other than Doctor Strange if he likes. Thanks. I want to thank all 3 of you for making it more accessible and less intimidating to get back into comics after some years doing other things. I want to thank you for being so relatable and such wonderful humans. The community that has grown around the 3 of you and TWC is one of the most accepting, kind, and welcoming I have found, and the Discord is there for me on bad brain days as well as the good ones.
Oh, take care of your brain.
It is one of the small number of places I've found where I feel less lonely instead of more. And it wouldn't be there and wouldn't be what it is without the 3 of you. Taliesin, Matt, and Amy, thank you for everything. Taylor at Jaredwin 9. Jaredwin? Twitter and Discord. Thank you so much. Your
Thank you
art is
so,
so
so
beautiful.
much.
Thank you for your pictures and your wonderful
Watching
words.
Amy's face when she tears up is my favorite thing, and then
Yeah,
she
it's
turns
fine.
to hide, and then I can see her in the monitor. It's really great. There's no hiding. That's all the show is for me.
Yeah, you Wednesdays really are amazing. And thank you for taking care of your brain. Like mental health is so incredibly important.
Head meat.
Very, very
Was that-
important.
Head meat.
Head
you
meat,
you
yeah,
only
like-
get about that much.
And it's important. I like the way you phrase it. It's important to recognize that there are bad brain days.
Oh, yeah.
And that's okay. Fight through it, and so you can get to the good brain days. You know.
Yeah, and then always remember that you are 210% more awesome than you actually think you are.
That's true.
And that most people probably actually think that way about you. They're too busy hating themselves to.
To really pay attention. Man,
There's
that's,
that.
nihilism.
that's dark, but that's true. Oh, wow.
Self-loathing is strong in the human race.
Oh, man, I'll feel you on that one.
Boom.
Chad is just singing the lyrics of Ocean Man now.
Ah, yay.
We've lost them.
But we needed.
Bennett did that to
I
me,
would.
Lord.
If you want to draw someone other than Doctor Strange, Nightcrawler.
Ooh.
Taliesin.
Are we just all going to go X-Men, or can we?
No, we can
do
do whatever you
something.
want.
It's us, so probably. But.
Yeah.
To be fair,
Well, if we're going to do, I'll do Madrox for once.
that would
We
be
should get
Nice,
into this,
multiple
too.
man. I'll do Vixen. Oh, wait, did
wait.
they say it had to be Marvel?
No, it's just
Okay.
me.
Then
Vixen.
I'll do Vixen.
Vixen's good.
Good
Yeah.
choice.
God, she's so awesome.
With
She's
that
so awesome.
With the short hair.
Yeah, with the short hair, and just like I'd have animals around me at all time, and like riding a rhinoceros through like New York.
That is
That'd be
beautiful
great.
and specific. What will my answer be?
Quentin Quire.
Uh,
I've done it before.
uh,
I just think Amy saying Quentin Quire would be
That'd be weird. That would throw me.
it'd
I
be
will
fun,
admit.
but I'd be so mad at myself. Be like, get it together, me. Which is a very left a thing I say all the time.
May I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
I would love to see you as Galactus.
Dang!
I'm be into that.
Sure.
I would so read the issue of you as Galactus meeting Squirrel Girl.
Also as you?
At some point, we also have to figure out everybody we've ever cosplayed as.
I would love
It's not a much for me.
How have you not cosplayed that much?
I'm not a cosplayer. Like,
I know, but your
I
feel
appreciate
like your
cosplay and
girlfriend
love
would have strong-armed you into it at least 6 or 7 times.
My lovely wife, Brittany, when we first started dating,
Drink.
Yep.
take a drink. I did that on purpose for all you drinkers out there. We cosplayed as deck crew for Battlestar Galactica.
I got your jacket. You gave me your jacket.
No, Brittany gave you her,
Her
jacket.
jacket.
I still have my jacket. Thank
was a
you.
lovely gift.
It's a lovely, lovely jacket.
I wear it all the time.
We also did Harry Potter, like Hogwarts students. And then I've done Doctor Strange a couple times. But it's like wearing a blanket. It's too hot.
for Doctor Strange.
Yeah, because the
like,
cloak is so heavy,
Yeah.
and my friend Jennifer Newman, who made the cloak for me, made it out of this really thick
Friend of the channel.
material, and it's a beautiful cloak, and I mean I've worn it before for shows here, but it's just a lot.
Yeah, maybe some of those sports apparel people should get into the cosplay business.
Yeah, they
And
should.
then you could have lightweight, and it could still look like it has heft,
Yeah.
but then it like breathes and sweats well.
You better be
That'd be
listening,
nice.
Adidas. All right.
It's like stop
Which
leaving
brings
money
us
on the
to
table.
So all black outfit, bright sun. How does T'Challa do it?
Oh.
Good segue.
I actually have an answer for that, but fine.
Good segue. All right.
Wakanda is the most technologically advanced place on Earth. It is Earth's Asgard, is like an easy way to say
So-
that.
Great way of
so
putting
let's
it.
let's back up a little bit.
Okay.
What's Wakanda? Well, let's start with
Okay.
this. For those of you who don't know, who's Black Panther?
Okay.
Like basic.
Starting from the
Basic.
beginning.
Super
Super
basic.
basic. Black Panther is the mantle. It's like a mantle. It's like a title of so basic. Okay, it's like
Do you want me to take it so you can?
No,
I
this
don't.
is fun.
No, I want to watch her
Okay.
squirm. I want to
Yeah.
watch her squirm. This is what I
Okay.
signed up for.
Black Panther is a superhero. The actual Black Panther title is a hereditary title that also has to be earned. He is the king of a country called Wakanda that exists right now. It has been moved a couple of times. That exists right now in East Africa, above Uganda, and it's a fictional country, obviously. So with Black Panther, consider him to be Marvel's Batman. He is a billionaire, rich as Croesus, But he's unlike Batman in the sense that he has a support system of his entire country. Everybody has a place. There's a place for everybody. It's like the shared destiny that they have. Think of it like being part of a country where it's not the king you deserve, it's that the king deserves you.
That's a good
So
way
is
to put
that
it.
pretty?
Yeah, that's.
I
that's
would
Does that
also-
make sense?
I would throw in,
That's covering
unlike
it.
Batman, he's got the responsibilities of a king.
Yes.
Like he's got that like the crown is so heavy on T'Challa. Like
He takes it extremely seriously. Like if there was, like you're rolling for morality, like if that was a thing that you could do, stop.
No, I'm on you.
no,
Yeah,
I
it's
love
pretty,
it. I just
pretty
love
high morality there. And then with answering your question with how in the world, like he's running around Africa and he's got all black suit. It's because his suit is so incredibly awesome. You think of like Batman with all of his suits in the cave, like think like that with T'Challa. Because they have vibranium, which is
What's vibranium?
it is the most
Oh, man.
precious metal on the entire planet. And because of that, Wakanda has been self-sufficient since it was found. And T'Challa is not the first Black Panther. We're talking, it's been going on for a bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think
I was introduced to the character. I remember I was given his first introduction to the Avengers by a friend of mine who described him of like, this is an issue where an adult comes into the room.
Yeah.
Which was, you've been enjoying,
really good.
you've been,
He's
you've
so
been enjoying
often
the
the
Avengers
only
for so
adult.
long. This is the moment where an actual adult comes in and goes,
Yeah,
what
what
is
are you
wrong
doing?"
with you
So-
people? Sit down.
So you brought up his I read this today. I never read this one, Avengers 52, where he joined the Avengers. Here's how you know Black Panther is awesome. He shows up to Avengers Mansion and goes through the grate that Captain America was like, "You're great. There's a hatch on the roof. Go through there and tell the Avengers that I sent you." And he was like, "Great." And Captain America's like, "No one else knows about this hatch. If you know about it, then we've obviously told you about it." He's like, "Great." So he shows up. No one's waiting for him. He gets attacked by the Avengers Mansion security systems. He's like, nah. He fights his way all the way through it. Gets in there. Discovers 3 of the Avengers are dead, and then is framed for the murder. Taken to jail. Escapes jail. Figures out who killed those 3 Avengers, and then saves their lives without any other Avengers around. And then the Avengers are at the end are like, "Yeah, you should probably join the team." And he's like, "You think?"
Yes.
And it's like, oh, he's such a badass. Like he did all of that by himself. Like Thor's like, "Oh, how sad, the Avengers are dead." And Iron Man's like, I'm gonna have to investigate this later. Captain America's like, they're saying T'Challa's framed. I'm gonna have to look into this. And
T'Challa's like, already did the thing, blah, 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 blah.
He's like, already fixed it. Make me an Avenger. They're like, yeah, sure, you're on the team. Sure, that sounds great.
So for the behind the scenes, the year is 1966. And like many of the greatest characters in all of Marvel, Black Panther is some issue of Fantastic Four.
Yes.
Fantastic
we have
Four,
52 and 53.
Wait. I have where is it?
Yep, there you go. There's the first. That's the first official appearance. I know what you're gonna pull.
I'm going to pull up. This was the unused cover.
Oh, I haven't seen this.
This
Yeah.
was the unused cover of Fantastic Four that got.
Yep, there it is.
Do you know
Next.
one of the reasons why they didn't do
No,
that one?
no.
Because
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah, I figured that out.
Yeah.
I'm feeling very proud of myself.
Yeah.
What? Say?
Because it's showing half of his face. And
Yep.
the
They
time.
thought they wanted
times that it
to throw it at you once
Yep.
you've already bought the book.
So
Right.
little
Oh my God.
So little background.
The 60s, yay!
Little background. I've done some research into Black Panther for another show that's coming up.
Sorry, yeah,
The
no,
original.
we'll get there.
No, not yet.
It's too much.
What did I do?
No, that was me. I brought up something.
Shit.
I brought up
I guess I'm
something
not
too
allowed to
soon
talk
for
on my
it.
show anymore, everybody. So there was a. oh, you guys. There was so the first character was going to be Pharaoh. The first African American character was going to be Pharaoh Lad. Oh God, why am I
Isn't there a
forgetting his
Legionnaire
name?
named Pharaoh Lad?
There is.
Isn't
and
he
was
not
going to be black.
Oh wow.
and the editor at DC, Mort Schlesinger, said, "No, we can't have a black character because the distributors in the South won't pick up our book." And that was in '65, I think. So like they just covered his face and just like didn't do anything with it.
fair lad.
So like that's the environment that they're in when they put this out. So when Black Panther comes out.
Yeah. And who's created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, and they're like, now we're doing this. We know we've got the fans. This is happening. And then like Jack Kirby'd it.
Man, did he Jack Kirby it.
Oh my
He
lord.
Kirby'd so hard.
He Kirby'd all over the place.
He went full Kirby. It's like,
Because they were, just for context, they were in the middle of one of the epic runs of all time. We were
Yep.
coming right off of the introduction of Galactus and the Silver Surfer. We had recently met the Inhumans for the first
Inhumans,
time.
yeah,
They
and-
they couldn't do an issue of Fantastic Four without inventing something that
In
would
fact,
live on in immortality.
In Black Panther's very first issue, they revisit the Inhumans for like 2 pages just to make sure everyone at home remembers, oh yeah, the Inhumans they're doing something too.
Johnny's having feelings, okay?
Johnny got to
Johnny's
get
all
his
about
act together.
Crystal.
He's got to get over Crystal and get his act together.
oh, Princess Zonda.
Princess Zonda.
Princess Zonda.
So Princess Zonda is
I love you.
This is no, like Princess Zonda is my aesthetic. This is my fucking.
If you
Oh
can
man,
see.
I put
like,
it. I
look
put
at
I put her in there somewhere. Yeah, there we
yeah,
go.
she
Princess
is.
Zonda.
Thank you, Chief.
This is
so
everything I love.
fabulous.
This is everything I love about Kirby, and I have a theory on the Black Panther costume, which is that I think that Kirby had gotten to a point with his art where he realized that he needed something to start, like basically be a negative space focal point. And I think Silver Surfer and Black Panther were both attempts to make characters that were basically just outlines so that he could put all the weird stuff around them and just move them around the page and the panel.
So what you're alluding to, there's a
Like that.
fantastic
Yeah.
artistic technique where you have a simpler or more like a dark front so that the
Yeah, I
behind can
remember
pop
that
out, or a
issue,
dark
too.
behind so that the front can pop out.
my
There are
God.
technical terms for all of that with art.
Yeah,
And there's- I mean, like,
this
this-
was after the Solomon's Frog. or
This is
was-
the Solomon's
This is the
Frog.
Solomon's
Yeah, show
So-
this off.
so
as
this
it's a
is a-
fantastic example.
This is a very early, and I'm sure I put it in there too, and I'm so sorry I'm probably killing Chief right now. This is a very early issue of the Black Panther's own book where he's decided to basically go around being a treasure hunter with some friends.
Like
And they are
Indiana
attempting
Jonesing.
to get a time-traveling golden frog that when you, I assume...
Kirby being so hard.
Kirby being Kirby, I assume that when you lick, you can see the frog there. When you lick the frog, something from the past or future
that's
pops
a-
out and tries to kill you.
I think it's an alligator.
And the thing, yeah, there's the frog.
Oh,
and
there
the
it
thing
is.
with the sword was the thing that just killed the guy who activated it because he like brought something from the future, and whatever comes from the future just tries to kill you.
Nah.
And yeah, and then Princess Zonda
so
comes
many-
out of nowhere and she's like, "That's my frog now, fuckers," and it's great.
Yeah, she
so
was part
this
of like
is-
the collectors.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was there was one character that was like, no, Kirby, no. It was somebody named Mr. Little.
Oh,
and
yeah,
he was
oh.
actually a little person.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
like,
no.
Oh, there was a lot of
No,
on
there
the
he is,
nose.
there he is.
On the nose. Yeah.
I breathe
it's
deep
like-
and imagine what's his name, the singer who's in all the movies. What's his name?
the singer that's
the
in all the
singer
movies.
that's in all
The
the
Phantom of
movies.
Paradise?
Edward Sheeran. No,
Oh,
he's
God.
not in movies.
You
You know,
he's not in
everyone-
movies.
That
What
movie
is-
that's on
oh,
the
no,
tip
what-
of
what is-
everybody's
what is the
tongue.
name of
Phantom
the-
of the Paradise.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, Chief, it's killing me. I know. I'm trying to remember, but there's a
What are you talking about, Taliesin?
It'll come to me. It's
I love that you think like the weird thoughts that are in your head are so
I'm Googling
normal
it.
that you assume that the rest of us have them.
I'm googling it right now. That's what I'm going to do. I'm being
Love
that
you
guy.
so much.
I love like Librarian Liz like totally nailed it. She's like the dark and dirty things.
Yep. Yeah. No,
Like
Librarian Liz is
this.
great.
Mm-hmm.
So the Jack Kirby run that you're looking at, I think is from 1977.
So
if
by
I
that
remember
time, he's
correctly.
been around for a decade, and in
Little
Marvel
over,
fashion,
yeah.
he's bounced from book to book and
Yeah.
sort of been a guest star everywhere. But he got his first.
He got
so
his-
I haven't really
Paul
sat
Williams.
down with these.
Who? What?
Paul
Paul
Williams.
Williams.
Yeah, everyone knows who you're talking about.
I feel so old right now. Okay.
Yeah,
it'll be
I know.
all right.
I know who Sean William Scott is.
Paul Williams was most recently in Baby Driver. He was the guy who was selling them guns, who was like small and in the white suit.
Oh,
Yep.
Paul Williams is great.
okay.
He's very strange looking, but he's great.
Nice.
So he goes from a fabulous new character in Fantastic Four for a couple issues, where we get like a highly condensed like origin and revenge story and background in the space of 2 issues, because that's how they did it back then. And then he goes off and he joins the Avengers, but he bounces around and guest stars with everybody, and then gets his own run for the first time in
Jungle
the McGregor book.
Action.
I'm just gonna say,
He gets
Yeah, there's
Jungle Action, I think.
McGregor, I believe. And that's an interesting Black Panther. It is.
Oh, we got it. We got it,
he
Lucky.
is-
Thank you.
Yeah. It's an
Our
interesting
social
one.
media guy just came running in to go, Paul
Williams.
thank you.
Phantom of the Paradise. It's a
Chris Lockey's the
good
best.
time.
So I haven't actually sat down with the Don McGregor things, but I do I was reading about the run, and I guess his perspective on it at the time was that they were starting up like a Jungle Book that would be like a Shinna, Queen of the Jungle kind of reprints thing, and he was sort of like, why reprint old offensive stories when we have a character who could be a headliner? So made, as far as like from what people say, a sincere attempt to do like long form sophisticated storytelling with Panther in his own book. Your mileage may vary.
I've not read them.
I've got in the preamble to the
there we
Jungle
are.
Action comic.
Yep, that
There's
is the thing.
Yeah.
Why did they spell clan with a C?
I don't know, but that looks
so that
looks like that might be Monica Lynn, if that is either that
Yeah,
or
that's
it's.
yeah,
is
that's
it?
the Monica Lynn run. Yeah. So here's a quote from McGregor talking about the whole Jungle Action thing. I came to Marvel Comics because I love Marvel Comics. As the line burgeoned, one of my jobs was to read all the reprint titles. One of the titles was Jungle Action, a collection of jungle genre comics from the 1950s, mostly detailing white men and women saving Africans or being threatened by them. I voiced a lament that I thought it was a shame that in 1973, Marvel was printing these stories, and couldn't we have a black African hero? I was not thinking of the Black Panther, and it was really a lament because I was in no position to change anything. So later on, he's in an editorial meeting, he brings it up, and they decide to, I think it was with Jungle Action #5, give it to Black Panther and keep it there.
It was literally a genre for many decades.
Yeah.
Yep.
And my perspective on the McGregor stuff is that it's amazing. I legitimately loved it. I didn't think that I would. I was like, here we go. It's fucking great.
I've
It's
seen
very adventureful.
Okay.
It is escapades, and punching the Klan. Who doesn't love punching the Klan? I love it when superheroes punch the Klan. Captain
Yeah.
America does it all the time.
I don't know how true this is or whether it's just an anecdote people love to pass around, but supposedly Don McGregor did his first story in that run, and they complained that there weren't enough white people, so he followed it up with him fighting the Klan. Problem solved.
That would
Like
not
there you
surprise
go.
me.
That sounds like the shit.
There you go.
So, just to give a little
Fight Club
background
report.
on this, Jungle Action #6 through 18 is referred to as the Panther's Rage. It's where you get Killmonger. Killmonger's introduced as a villain that Black Panther just cannot beat. It's
go, they're spelling
Don
Klan
McGregor,
right now.
Billy Graham. It's
Rich Buckler's the artist for a lot of it. Billy Graham is on there for part of the run.
God, look at
I
that
think those
pose
are the
on
two
the
primary.
third panel. Oh, so good.
and African American writer Dwayne McDuffie said, this overlooked and underrated classic is arguably the most tightly written multi-part superhero epic ever. If you can get your hands on it, sit down and read the whole thing. It's damn near flawless. Every issue, every scene, a functional, necessary part of the whole. Okay, now, go back and read any individual issue. You'll find seamlessly integrated words and pictures, clearly introduced characters and situations, a concise, sometimes even transparent recap, beautifully developed character relationships, at least one cool new villain, a stunning action set piece to test our heroes' skills and resolve, and a story that is always moving forward towards a definite and satisfying conclusion. That's what we should all be delivering every single month. Don McGregor and company did it in only 17 story pages per issue. And it is considered to be the very first graphic novel by Marvel, because even though
Like long form continuing story.
Yeah. So even though the Eternity Saga by the Doctor Strange piece, like ran through a lot of different issues and was like connected, it wasn't connected on purpose like this is. That was just like, we're telling a story and there's more parts to it. This was very much written with cliffhangers and character arcs that were dependent on those cliffhangers. And like, T'Challa goes from the very beginning of the book really messing up in a lot of different ways and not fully because he's been with the outsiders, the outworlders, and everyone in Wakanda is upset with him that he's
That is a
away.
running theme in Black Panther books.
It is.
You do not spend enough time at home with your family.
Yeah, so he's been away and he comes back and is it Wakabi? I mean, is that the
Wakabi was made for the movie. That's Daniel Kaluuya's character. He didn't actually exist in the anything. Who describe who it is that you're?
Sure it was.
We should warn the audience. There are two people on this couch, I believe, who have decided that they couldn't wait to see the movie, and had to like take matters into their own hands.
Well,
and that's fine.
Who
I'm not
could
angry.
those people be?
I don't know.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm not angry.
Like
describe-
the I could have sworn it was.
Yeah, well,
Anyway,
just
it's not a matter.
describe who you.
Yeah,
like, what was his
in
job?
what relation
like-
does he
he's-
stand to Panther?
He is
Yeah.
the security. He's like his chief of security.
Okay.
And he kind of like his defense minister in a lot of ways. And he just will not let T'Challa go. He's like, you were gone. You did it wrong. I've had to defend Wakanda in your place. You let us all down, and now there's this Killmonger guy creating like political revolution, and we're under threat. And it goes.
Do they have the yearly thing yet, or do they not have the once a year? Has the once a year thing not been established?
Don't know
yet?
if that was established just yet,
Okay.
but and I don't know if Warrior Falls had been. I don't know if McGregor established that, but a lot of what McGregor did was establish sort of the lore and mythology in the land of Wakanda, and it is beautiful writing and beautiful art. Like every other page, I was just like, did I just read poetry? Like it's beautifully written.
I'm glad that it spoke to you so much.
It really did. I was just
Like it made it real for you. It jumped off the page.
It jumped
for
off the
you.
page,
I
yeah.
love that.
Chief, do you have? I think I labeled a couple of things like poetry and art.
Wow.
Yeah, because it like grabbed me, like
Dude.
Well, like I couldn't find the exact quote from Grant Morrison, but Grant Morrison also said something similar to what Dwayne McDuffie said, saying, "This is one of the comics that made me get into comics." Was McGregor's Jungle Action run, and it's, I don't know about the name. It doesn't feel like the best name, but oh my
wow.
God, is
Oh,
it
the way
told
it's
really well?
Oh wow.
So, but like, just like one sinuous form curves inside, the defense tactic and its talons shred costume and flesh. Both effects are deadly. The last effect spills blood over his back. The first exposes his body to the harsh elements. Each bespeak of death. It's just like,
But those facts do not stop him. The Panther does not backtrack. Okay, never mind. It goes away.
it's just, it's like, it's so beautifully written and drawn, and the poetry of the words complements the art really well, and vice versa.
Chad told me to pay you.
Oh yeah. excellent.
It's just.
It reminds
I
me.
you haven't seen the movie.
I was
I know,
dead.
it reminds me. It actually is giving me a little bit of a vibe
That's a
of
beautiful
the Wolverine graphic
That's
novel.
a beautiful spread.
Look at
Yeah.
that spread.
And look at
Yeah.
that. Oh God.
So this is the first page of that sequence, if I remember correctly.
We should also remind people,
He's
especially
kind
because
of
of.
pulling a classic boobs and butt in that shot.
I
Yeah,
know,
no,
right?
Like
little
he's
bit.
making it look
Yeah.
good.
I'm not saying that is a very well formed butt.
I was
a
having a
little
like
small,
Black
but
Widow.
it's
Is that
okay.
you?
It's like a little apple bottom.
No,
Coldest
I'm feeling
blister.
it.
Oh, no,
Panther
guys.
breaks into a chilling
Poor
sweat.
Panther, I'm
the
sorry.
sheen hardens
No,
on
we're-
his
we are-
flesh,
we are
encasing
definitely
him in a
sexualizing
frigid,
the character right
transparent
now.
shroud. He stands fast. There is no other course of action. His options are few. None of them promise escape. The first wolf's underside is soft and yields before one weapon. Just like, oh, it's so beautifully written.
We've got to remind people also about the blue and black printing. Well, because of the
go for it.
limitations of printing at the time, you would shadow a black costume with blue, which is why. And like at one
We're all
point,
just used to looking at it. It looks
Yeah.
normal to you
Right.
if you've read comics. You're like, Veronica
but then,
Cypher's black
but
and
then
blue.
like at some point,
yeah.
once they got like the printing updated, like they decided some costumes were blue and some costumes were like Spider-Man's costume went blue, the Fantastic Four went blue, but were supposed to be black. It was all.
Batman has had some interesting variations.
Right?
Batman's gotten
First off,
weird.
Technically black, but like there's many sort of black and blue,
Blue,
and
gray.
gray.
You know, Black Panther was black before, well, black costumed before Batman was black costumed.
Because he was gray.
Yeah, yeah, he was.
Good
So-
catch.
Indeed.
And we did have at least one question pop up about the timing of a certain historically significant name. And I believe if y'all have better information on this, it's a case of like simultaneous development. The Black Panther
Black Panther and Black
social
Panther.
group and Black Panther the superhero got invented at the same year, I think.
And the same year, but there was a couple of months difference. I don't know how many months, but Black Panther, the character, existed before Black Panther, the party. And in fact, at the time, for a little bit, they didn't want to be confused with the political. Well, with the Black Panther Party, so they actually changed his name to the Black Leopard. And there's even like this thing where he's
I
explaining
did
it
not
to.
know this, and my mind is blown.
Yeah, there's this thing where he's explaining that to the thing, where there's like, and he's like, oh yes, I'm going to be called Black Leopard because I don't want to be confused with any political stuff. And I'm like, you're a king. Your life is politics. You can't get away from this. There's no escape. And they actually tried to do this for a couple issues, and then people were like, what the hell are you doing? What is this?
Love it.
We're not confusing the two. There's no confusion here. Get off of whatever you're on and give us back Black Panther. And then they did and continued.
Yeah,
forth with
everything
it.
I found that says
like,
is
that's
just
so
that the
ridiculous.
comics slightly,
Yeah.
the comics just slightly beat them out to the name. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like by a couple months.
Yeah, it
66.
really wasn't. There was sometimes coincidences just happen. And that was one of those times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Panther guy was speaking to a lot of people. Can't rule it
Hey,
out.
Panthers are powerful.
Wait, is this?
Look at that.
Oh my God, did you find it?
Oh,
Did you
Poor-
find it?
She finds everything. He's amazing.
How?
How did you do that? Yeah, here's where he's. Yeah.
Boy, Johnny really got to stop dating Crystal. He's not looking
Oh
good.
my gosh.
Johnny,
Yeah, because he was all
looking
like,
a little
yeah,
rough.
T'Challa is a law unto himself.
instead.
You're
I
amazing.
do love though that he's like, I neither condemn nor condone. I'm a law unto myself. I love that his in-universe
Like, hey,
attitude is like,
whatever.
do your thing. I'm the king of Wakanda.
Yeah,
I've got
do your
business.
thing. I'm out. I've got a lot of other things to worry about. So whatevs. So that's the. I don't want to talk too much about the McGregor run. He fights dinosaurs.
He does. It is
Literally.
super adventureful.
Yeah,
Telling
Killmonger's like, go attack Wakanda.
we have-
And the dinosaurs are like, all right. And it's
Is it like Savage Land dinosaurs? Is that, do they like?
Dinosaurs.
I don't remember.
There are a bunch of fake countries in Marvel. I really like the fact that Marvel has like a bunch of weird fake countries,
Yeah.
and like fake places that are just all kind of interesting and cool. And,
Yeah.
and yeah, there's a dinosaur habitat in the North Pole in Marvel. It is a thing.
I
Yeah.
thought it was the South Pole.
Is it South Pole? I
think
could
it's the
have
South Pole.
It might be
Is
the
it
South
the
Pole.
South Pole?
Savage
It's the
Land?
South Pole.
Savage Land might be
Feel
the
like
South
Savage
Pole.
Land. Oh, you just
And
said
I
that.
don't remember if the dinosaurs in
page.
Wakanda came from Savage Land or.
They usually do.
That's what I assume.
Or
I
Mole
can't
Man,
I don't remember.
or Monster Island. They have an island called Monster Island.
Yeah.
It is mostly vegetation. There's
And
really not a lot
Krakoa,
going
the
on
island
there.
that walks like a man. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's
there's that,
Latveria? Latveria?
Latveria.
Latveria.
Yeah,
Latvia's a real
Latveria
place.
Doom's
Yeah,
place.
Latvia is
Yeah,
a real
you know.
place. And then
So,
where Luke Cage stormed his
all the
his
monarchs,
symbol that time.
all the monarchs of these fake countries are really fascinating in the way that they all. And like one of my favorite things is like Black Panther compared to Namor compared to Doctor Doom is the way that they all kind of interactive.
But they all want to come in and wreck Wakanda, but that's decades in the future.
Well, oh man, yeah, that's right. That's a
Yeah.
huge thing. But we'll get to that.
so,
Yeah.
Markeia,
Yes.
what, like, someone comes up to you and says,
The priest run.
Yeah!
Yes.
I love that you knew. I love that you knew. We got that question all the time on the Marvel show too. Like, hey, I've never read. Where do I start?
The priest run.
Yeah.
You start with Christopher Priest. Believe me, you start with Christopher Priest.
That's what-
You start with the client.
Tell us about it.
That is what you do.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna pull up that first one. while
Yeah,
you're talking.
because
So this is like late '90s, right?
This is 98.
Oh.
I'm gonna say
98-ish,
98.
yeah.
I'm gonna say 98. Feel free to correct me, but it's 98. And Christopher Priest, what he did with Black Panther after. Okay, so the I was like,
We can have perspective. We can say like, okay, we appreciated all of this stuff, and now
super appreciated.
98.
98.
98.
Yes. He also invented the Dora Milaje. The Dora
Yes.
Milaje did
Nice.
not exist before Christopher
Which
Priest.
I have apparently been saying wrong my entire life.
Yeah, Dora Milaje.
I'm learning now.
For those of you who don't know, who are the Dora Milaje?
The Dora Milaje are the adored ones. They are wives in training for T'Challa, but it's not how it sounds at all. It's mainly, it starts off in different ways, but it's mainly a way to have this kind of like this warrior caste that protects the king. And because there are wives in training, they have no need to be in the same social constructs in marriage that would exist like in other places in Africa. So they're not forced to be married at a very young age. They are protected. And with that, they protect the king. Like, okay, so like World of Wakanda with Roxanne Gay.
This is a
really
miniseries
gets
you
into
can
it.
find.
Oh
written-
boy. Oh yeah, I have
And
that here too. It is
yeah,
so
that
good.
is after the latest run, the Ta-Nehisi Coates one. But with that, they really delve into some of the Dora Milaje and specifically Ayo and Anika, who are OTP. Oh God.
I'm really enjoying that run. It's so
I
good.
love you, OTP.
Yes, they're gorgeous and they're meat cute. I was just all about it. I'm like, oh God, I'm single as fuck with their meat cute. But I think I even brought their thing in here. Oh yeah, so I even have
Wait,
their.
is that the one where it was the training? That was like the weird training. Oh, that was hot.
Yes.
That's really
Wait,
Oh,
so
it's
this is in
super
World
hot.
of Wakanda.
Yeah,
Oh,
this
and
is
the trip-
World
and
of
the trip to New York.
Wakanda.
Oh, the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
so
it's
good.
this one.
Good
So
fun.
essentially, this was
Is
a
that one?
miniseries that they greenlit based on excitement and success for the Ta-Nehisi Coates relaunch. And by relaunch, I mean numbering, not setting the story back to zero. In what was
Right.
it, 2015-ish?
It's
I
real
think that
recent,
feels
yeah.
Real bad with time.
that feels really close. I'm not the greatest with like remembering years.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
I have a button
gorgeous.
for that.
Okay, but I went on a tangent. So with
We
Christopher
never did
Priest.
No, I don't. They don't
I
have
could
it
already
here.
Priest,
tell
yeah,
that.
it's 98.
Yes,
For some
with the
reason, Black
Christopher
Panther
Priest.
hasn't had his own series in like 20 years or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
We
Yeah.
kind of skipped. Jack Kirby wrote him for a while, but then he got like
In the late 70s, yeah.
He got
ensembled and guest starred and
did some
many,
great
many
years.
did some great stuff all over the place.
what Christopher Priest does with Black Panther is that he humanizes him in such a beautiful way. Like Black Panther, up to that point, has been an adventurer. He's been an Indiana Jones type character. He's battled dinosaurs. He's, I believe he went into space like during McGregor. I'm not certain though. I know he goes into space in Christopher Priest's run. And a whole lot of
Well,
other
and then
things.
there's the whole like Jack Kirby thing where he's like floating through time and dimensions.
Yeah,
and yep.
where there's a thousands of years old chariot that
Space samurai.
is powered with some
Oh, some good stuff.
and flies off into like out of a pyramid, I think. Okay,
Sure, why not?
Yeah, Kirby, peak Kirby. But with Priest,
Oh, that's such a good way to put it.
like he not only shows T'Challa the man, he's able to also show T'Challa the king along with T'Challa the superhero. And it is done so seamlessly. It's like when you read Christopher Priest's run, you get it and you're included in what they're actually saying. And I'm saying with Black community, like it's accessible to everybody. And not only that, but you get some answers to some of the things that have been like driving you insane up to that point. And for instance, why in the world would T'Challa, king of Wakanda, totally self-sufficient, has no need to join the Avengers? Why would he join the Avengers? Why would he endanger himself? Why would he leave his people? And also, have that whole thing where it's like, oh, you're Western influence, like that. And Christopher Priest answers it, and he does it like really close to the first part of the run. And it's that he was spying on the Avengers. And he breaks Captain America's heart when Captain America finds out.
And
But-
I love that I love the way that they make that reveal too, because I think it's something like they're fighting someone.
They're fighting a Shibe.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Shibe is like the Joker of, he's Marvel's Batman. Like Shibe is like the Joker of it. And It's this whole
trying
thing.
to find a
Okay,
picture.
because there's Monica Lynn, and Monica Lynn was engaged to T'Challa, and it looked like it was supposed to really be that. I mean, she was a jazz singer kind of a thing. Oh,
I'm just pulling it up. I'm pulling it up.
Yeah, and then she realized, as time went on, it's not good to be engaged to a king. Got tired of being kidnapped. Got tired of being held
happens
for
a lot.
ransom.
Yep.
And then, like in this particular fight, Ashibe attaches like this exoskeleton to her to make her move, and like has a gun, and she's basically kidnapped and held hostage again by his, by the baddies. In any case, while he's trying to save her and also figure out who in a crowd is like has a bomb attached to them.
Oh my God, that's right.
Yes.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
Okay, that's right.
But he's talking to Ashibe, and he tells him, "You're like, yeah. The reason I did is that I figured that they were a threat. I needed to know how much of a threat. So yes, I spied on them."
And then Ashibe, or like I think it's like Ashibe says something like that to the Avengers, and then the Avengers are like, "Yeah, but I mean, you would never do that." And Black Panther's like,
Like,
"No, but I."
like, but I
actually,
did.
yeah, I totally did.
like, do I see a lie? There's no lie.
Yeah, yeah. And she's like, yeah, Captain America. She's like, oh my God. Oh,
It's
crap.
like you
Oh.
feel it. It's like, oh, poor
Oh,
guy.
Steve.
But yeah, but
We'll get back to
you
Steve.
get an adventuresome T'Challa also. I mean, he punches out Mephisto.
Yep. Yep.
Like one hit.
Oh, you're reminding me of so much wonder in that run.
God, this art
He's
too.
Mr.
Oh.
Contingency Plan. It's like he can take down anybody, anywhere. He takes down Marvel's Satan with one punch. And it's marvelous. It's so good.
What
with
was
the
your
person.
first run on Panther? Did you see him in the pages of other stuff, or was there like?
I saw him in the pages of other stuff. It
think
was
that's how I met him.
sporadically, and then I backtracked, and then I saw like the Jack Kirby one, and I was like, oh wow.
Yeah.
It's like, this is really cool. And then I started reading some of the Jungle Action ones. I guess it was before McGregor. And it was just like, what is, all right, hey, he's still there. Still got him.
Still doing it.
Woo! And then I ran into Priest, and I was like, yes. Keeping in mind, 90s, so it is very 90s in
is
the
very-
structure.
It's a little dated.
I feel like it holds up pretty
Mostly
well
the
though.
art,
It's
though.
like no, I mean like even like
the
the
time
design.
play.
oh, I'm like I just wandered
Everybody looks
into
like
some
they're
weird
on
art. Hold on.
steroids.
Yeah,
you
it's
know.
very
Very
but,
spiky.
but there's
shapes,
a lot
yeah.
of good going on. Hold on, I'm gonna find.
Mm-hmm.
I was just looking at something that just blew my mind, and he's got the pop collar and the micro cape, which is its own thing.
Well, while you're finding that, you find it?
Beautiful, like some really interesting, beautiful layout. That like really interesting and beautiful layout. There we are. Like there's this beautiful crowd scene that's like put together. It's got a subtle painted tone, and there's definitely like he's
You're
definitely
watching
a
the
little.
digital color transition happen during
Yeah.
books from this
Yeah.
era.
Yeah.
I remember this. This is when they're doing, there was some sort of gathering for T'Challa, and then they didn't invite enough black people. So they were like, hey, we put the call out, and there's a whole lot of black people outside.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
Oh, wow.
This has
Yeah.
been, I've been rereading a lot lately. This has been it's so fucking strange. It's great.
But before we move on, we will be doing our 5-minute one shot at the end of the episode. So start sending in your topics. It could be about anything, preferably about something with Black Panther, I think. But whatever you want us to talk about.
talking about-
Our producer Liz will choose it, and we'll do it at the end of the episode. But I should have told you about that.
Oh, okay.
That's
no
a
problem.
thing.
Yeah,
It's a
no,
thing that
They'll
we
throw
do.
something at us, we'll
Yeah.
all nonsense it for 5 minutes, and it'll be good.
that sounds great.
It'll be super fun.
Yeah, that sounds fun. I like that.
And this, I'll also say the priest run was also the a really good introduction to the visual storytelling of Wakanda. I felt like there have been a lot of different interpretations of what the country looks like, and I'm not always blown away by it. And I'm weirdly infatuated with the notion of. Wasn't that like Afrofuturism? There was. Were you here
Afrofuturism.
for the
our
Black
audience.
Kirby gallery thing that happened years ago?
No.
Somebody decided they were going to do a series they got a series of artists to kind of do a art imagine through what if Kirby had been black.
Whoa!
And
I
it
don't know
was-
about that. I thought you were talking about the Northridge show.
No, well,
I found
this
some
was,
of that art online.
Well,
It's
and that's how I
amazing.
found the Afrofuturism book. I was
God.
like, what the fuck is this shit? And went and like delved deep into a pit. And this was the beginning of that Wakanda. I felt like of like really like going let's make Kirby's Wakanda, and let's get weird with it, and let's really like build something new.
Yeah, well, Afrofuturism, I believe it definitely predated Christopher Priest in general. For me, it's been a side part of my life. Like I have family members that can afford to dress like that, which is like, you know, power to you. When I can't afford to dress like that, I would love that. It can get pricey, but it's so empowering. It's so beautiful. It's so gorgeous.
It's a genre waiting to happen.
So it's sort of would you say
It is Wakanda.
Yeah.
Would you define it as like an aesthetic that combines traditional practices from the various parts of Africa with sort of projecting into a science fictional or speculative fiction direction? Like how, if we had to try to sentence this?
Okay. Well, sure. It's where culture meets technology. It's also kind of a rebellion against how predominantly white cultures will portray Black people in sci-fi or not portray them like
Yeah,
like
just forget to
like they
include them
don't
in the future.
like we
Like-
don't exist in the future.
Like-
Like we can't be starship captain. I mean now we can't, but it was just
There was a time.
there was a time just like didn't really exist, and there's a number of different reasons why Afrofuturism came into existence, but it really is a rebellion against what other people say, where it's like where other people treat you like an other, where it's like you don't belong anywhere. They basically have robbed you of your place to belong. And Afrofuturism, it's
imagines
saying,
differently.
yeah, well, it's saying not only do I belong, my roots are so deep, way deeper than you could ever imagine. And not only that, but my branches extend out into space and past the sky. And that is Afrofuturism.
Okay.
I
that's
was
really beautiful.
introduced to it at my comic book store when I was young, or when I was during this show, is because somebody was like, "You're into anime, right?" I'm like, "I love anime." They're like, "And what do you love about it?" I was like, "It's this completely different form of storytelling, this completely different vision of the future. It feels familiar yet alien. It's something that's new, but it's still truthful, and it's this completely different truth I'm not used to." And it's like, so you found like a culture that was telling these great science fiction stories, and it was completely new, and you absorbed it and became better for it. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, well, so why'd you stop with one other country? And we're like, oh, shit.
Nice.
Fuck. Like, what do you
love
think
that.
Indian science fiction looks like? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. Holy shit. I got to get off the dwarves and the elves for a while. I've been absorbing way too many dwarves and elves. I need some other shit.
I
And
love
yeah, and it was a really like, why limit yourself? There's all this good shit. And
Yeah, when I
Exactly.
remember after Comic-Con last year, after they had released that first big Black Panther trailer, and you and I were having
and you saw me get,
a talk, and I was like, I'm excited for Black Panther because it's showing me something I've never seen. Like Infinity War looks amazing, and I'm gonna love it. But Black Panther, I've never seen this. And you go, well, that's Afrofuturism. And I was like, it's what? And I think you were the one who pointed out to me, like, it was like Star Trek is Western sci-fi, and there's nothing wrong with that. But there's like an exclusivity to it that is very subtle, and once you see that, you just
can't unsee it.
You
It's
can't
just
unsee
there,
it, and it's
and
like
so frustrating.
Yeah, it's like America conquered space.
Yeah, no, it's yeah.
We put the flag everywhere.
bless God, I don't want to credit him for this quote but a friend of mine who was like I love Star Trek, but occasionally it is the what if the future, or what if everybody got to be a white man? I'm like, oh, I
Yeah.
know, it's cool, but like and damn it, now you've just
Acknowledging, obviously, of course, that Star Trek was one of the very few spaceship shows to be like, we did not completely and entirely forget to let anybody else onto the spaceship, but it still represents one vision of many possible visions.
Yeah, it was a beautiful future that skipped to the end. It was very much we're gonna hit the happily ever after and keep going, but we don't even need to talk how we got there, but we got there. Everything's great. I'm like, cool, I'm into it, and everything's great. Now we get to do cool shit.
And again, there's nothing wrong with any of that, and
No.
like, it's great that
I'm
you're
just saying,
bringing
by the
that
time
up.
we get to Cisco's dad's restaurant, they are letting some other
Yeah.
influences into things.
They're,
But it
they're
takes, like,
starting to
30
figure out their
years.
shit, but like at the same time, there's like a group of, and at some point I have to give, there are people writing science fiction in Cuba right now, and it is good. Oh, I mean,
you showed me some, yeah.
There are people doing cool shit everywhere. It's so fucking great.
Yeah, and it's like technology makes it so accessible.
Finally.
It's like you are basically limited by your own box. And it's like, it's good to have like shows like this where it's like, yeah, look beyond your box. There's all these other boxes to play with.
I think that's the great thing about like what you taught me about Afrofuturism is that I didn't realize I was looking at a box.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, I'm in a box? And then like once I found out there was Afrofuturism, it's like, well, yeah, there is like
There's
all
so
these
much.
other visions of the future of like.
We've been reading the same shit over and over again. We finally, and
Yeah.
like this, my hope for this, and this is the thing that makes me really happy about Black Panther, is that it's going to inspire 20 crappy bullshit movies and 3 fucking great ones. That things are going to get made that are just going to be so off the wall. Like we went into space and we got weird with the Guardians of the Galaxy, and now we're back on Earth and we're getting weird. And I'm so excited that it's just gonna it's gonna make people who would have been trepidatious be a little braver to get a little weirder, because this is, it's proof that you can get off the spaceships and the dwarves and the elves a little bit.
So I'm glad that you brought up the movie a little bit, because
Yeah.
Markeia, you've seen it, and
Everyone's going on Thursday. I can't go.
I want to go.
I want to go. I can't.
Taliesin, you and I can hold hands and cry.
Okay.
But you also got to do press for it, correct? Can you talk about that at all?
Yes, I can. I can talk a bit about that.
I've been excited to hear you talk about this since I saw your
Yes.
Facebook posts about it.
Okay, so I did the press junket for Nerdist for that, and those that don't know me, I'm kind of in love with Angela Bassett.
Who's not in
Who's-
love
I
with
feel ya.
Angela Bassett?
Angela Bassett. I got to interview Angela Bassett. Angela Bassett wore my Panther blaster, and all right, okay.
That was
just gonna-
perfect. I couldn't have asked
I
for
feel like that's a real sentence.
Yeah.
Like, do you remember in the 90s when we were all like, what if she played Storm? That would be amazing. It'll never happen, blah, 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 blah.
No.
Like,
Oh.
Yes.
we live in this world now.
Yes, when actually you piece together her movies, like everything from like Strange Days,
Oh,
and you
yeah.
do like I think it was called Nova. It was the one where she's
haven't seen
floating
that one.
she's floating in space, and then there's this whole bit about like
You got me on this one.
oh my
I
god.
know
It
Strange
was a
Days. I don't know
sci-fi.
Nova.
I think it's called Nova. If somebody in the chat room knows, it's Angela Bassett's sci-fi movie.
I
It's
will look it up right now.
there's this whole thing where the same guy that plays the Doctor in Star Trek Discovery is in this movie.
Oh.
The Doctor
Yeah.
from Star Trek Discovery, he's in the movie, and I'm sorry, I don't know that actor's name right now. But in this, she is the captain, and just with her floating like in space, I'm like, that's how Storm would be. That's how Storm would be with the wind, and then like with Strange Days, how you have like kind of that technology aspect to it, and she's still trying to wrangle things together and trying to hold things together, and then there's that heartbreaking scene where with the police brutality in the middle of the street, and then some little boy who doesn't know her jumps on the back of one of the police officers to be like, leave her alone. And I'm just like, that would be Storm.
Was it Supernova?
Supernova. Is it
Supernova.
Supernova? Supernova. Thank
Dr.
you.
Kayla
Supernova.
Evers was
Was she
her
the
name?
doctor? I thought she
Says
was the
Dr.
captain.
Kayla. Well, it doesn't mean that she's a doctor.
Doctor-
Maybe she
Dr.
has
Captain.
her PhD in captain.
Dr.
Yeah,
Captain
I
Law.
guess doctors can be captains too.
Yeah.
I get,
Oh, she was in
I guess,
Contact. I forgot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I guess with Star Trek, I just think of everybody like, you're engineering, you're a doctor. But if you like, I mean, and even with, oh God, what was the movie where she sets his clothes on fire and like walks away from the car and everything's like fine. I'm like,
Carrie.
Thank you.
I can't believe I'm forgetting the movie right now. But it's like,
Am I way off?
it's not Set It Off, but also a very, very fun and kind of like heartbreaking movie. But in any case, with her setting the car on fire with all of his clothes in it, because you know what? Fuck champion. You could just think like, hey, she could have done that with lightning because Storm.
You've just been fan fictioning a Storm out of individual elements for years.
This is not
That's
weird.
amazing.
Like this was
Yes.
fandom through most of like the late '90s to the early.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
before the
Yeah.
internet, all we would do is we had picked one actor to play every X-Men, and we would just watch their career, going, "Why aren't you doing it yet?"
Well, and like I remember getting like the old Wizard magazines only because they
Because
would
of
do
the
the fan
casting.
They had
casting
the cast,
stuff.
and
yeah.
we'd all be like, "Ha ha, that would never happen."
That'll
You'll get
never
cast as
happen.
Storm
So
to play
literally.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, our two joke movies that my friend Sasha and I used to stand in line at like other
Sasha.
movies, and like our two jokes that we say to each other were Ant-Man. Literally, we just look at him, Ant-Man, because they would never make it, and Black Panther, because they would never make it. And
had
this
you
is the
built
world.
Yeah, this is the world that we.
The world mocks us.
By the
It's a little messed
fast
up
forward
that
to-
Ant-Man made it first.
It's a little messed
But
up that
we did
Ant-Man
live
made it
with it.
first,
But fast
I'm
forward
okay.
to 2018, where you're getting Black Panther and Ant-Man and the Wasp,
And Ant-Man and the Wasp.
both the same year.
Boy, they
That's
better
true.
put Cassie in that damn suit. Okay.
Oh, Forrest Whitaker was there also.
Of
Sorry.
course.
Oh,
Sorry, it's just like, it was
I
like-
love Forrest Whitaker.
And Forrest Whitaker. And yeah, like of course
Yeah,
I took my
sorry.
toys with me. I took, Shuri and
It looks great.
yeah, and then Letitia Wright, who plays Shuri.
Oh, the entire
like,
chat is saying it's waiting to exhale. That's what.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Oh my God, my mom is
sorry,
gonna be so
guys.
disappointed in me. So disappointed
Something
in me.
about the internet
Waiting
makes
to
you
exhale.
forget proper nouns. I always find.
Yeah. Yeah, I think her name was. Oh, I forget her name. I'm just gonna say Diane. We'll move on. It probably wasn't
I'm gonna
Diane.
play with your Panther Blaster.
Yeah, please do.
God, it feels really weird.
And
So you had your choice.
Yeah, and Letitia Wright was like, and she read up on it. Like she knew that this was Shuri as Black Panther, and I'm like, I love that you knew
Oh
that.
God, that's so great.
Okay, I'm gonna try not to do this, but like, y'all just wait till you see her in this.
I
No,
hear.
I've heard. I've seen the early reactions. Yeah.
It's good the two of us haven't seen it because then like it keeps everybody here in check for
Yeah, true.
for
True.
chat because
Yeah. It's
I had to find out.
oh, it's all the things. It's all the things. It's so well balanced. Not only
There's a sign that says I should stop leaning out of frame, and I probably wasn't supposed to call it out, but like, I'm good.
No.
It's fine.
You're fine.
Yeah, you're out of frame. There, you're back in frame.
I'm
There you
it's
go.
fine.
Ah.
yeah. There's a I don't remember. Oh, it's so well done. It's like not only is there the inclusion and representation and fully realized female characters that are also fierce warriors in their own right, and we're covering everything from STEM with Shuri because she's head of Wakanda design group, all the way to we have Okoye as the general. So you have this beautiful, fierce, and funny. And
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
And funny.
Yes.
And funny. Not only that, but it's a kick-ass superhero movie about this king that also has to be a superhero and then also has to hold his kingdom together in some way. And Marvel totally solves the villain problem, like kind of like how they did with Jessica Jones and Kilgrave, where it's like you understand where the villains are coming from and you kind of root for them
Yeah, I've heard-
because it's like.
I hear good things.
It's
heard
about
Killmonger's
something.
amazing.
I'm a little sad that we don't get the how Captain America got his shields. That the Captain America kind of burned the how he got his shield story. So
Oh, because in the trailer?
No, I mean because in the Captain America movie we see him receive the shield from Tony Stark, and I really like how they've like recently kind of finally put the nail in that story in a really interesting way of like Cap going to Wakanda and meeting the grandfather and like have you like that's just been started coming out. I've been really enjoying the.
What in the comics?
Yeah, there's a comic book story of Captain America like going to Wakanda during World War II and being like, please help, please help, and they're like, and they're like literally just like here's a little bit, go win your war. It's just like, fine,
Oh, that's awesome.
go.
They did have an interesting challenge adapting a challenge they gave themselves adapting Black Panther to film, which I was really relieved to see they handled well because classically, like Black Panther's origin, as you get it in Fantastic Four, and then in I'm curious where do you stand on the Reginald Hudlin, who is Black Panther, as a reintro?
I have some issues with it. I don't enjoy the depiction of Storm in the Hudlin series. I felt like he felt it was necessary to depower and depower her and then kind of turn her into a nag. And I just wasn't really.
We should probably let our audience is probably currently blinking
Yeah.
quickly.
Okay, we will go to there right.
1 second.
Very quickly.
This is for us.
What I was curious before we get there, because we should go there. A lot of versions of his classical origin have to do with his father and how he loses him and how he feels about that. And what's so interesting is they kind of gave themselves a really difficult situation in the movie by using that story in Civil War. It paid off because it was hella compelling and introduced everybody to him and got them really, really on board. But it meant that they made some really interesting choices to sort of reorient. So there's another character in the film who has something a little bit closer to his traditional journey in terms of, it's sort of interesting to separate out that I'm not making a lot of sense right now.
Well, originally in the comics, Claw kills T'Chaka. That's one of those things. There's bad blood there, and actually, Claw is. Well, he's a representation of colonialism. He just wants to.
Just look at the pith helmet on him when you first see him.
Oh God, I forgot about that.
The very first panel I think that you ever see of him is British rule.
It is the term is actually it is called Great White Hunter is the legitimate term for that. It is a terrible trope.
This is gonna
finally murdered.
Audience, bear with me because I don't know who's watching, and there are elements of this that I didn't know till college. So just to lay out the very basics about the way that this story intersects with world history. A big part of the Wakanda mythology is that Wakanda has never been conquered. Wakanda has not been colonized. Wakanda, when the European powers met in the late 1800s and literally had a meeting where they divided up who got which chunks of Africa, in the history of the Marvel Universe, nobody got Wakanda.
Everyone's like, we're just gonna make a little invisible wall and pretend it isn't there.
And because it's comic books, nowadays Wakanda has all kinds of problems because, as soon as you tell someone in comics this has never happened, they go, well, what if it happens? But historically, that's the context, and that's one of the reasons that Ulysses Claw makes a great sort of traditional, very bad guy, because depending on how you write him, he's either just in it for the money and he's sort of ravaging the resources, or he represents the entire, damage done by certain civilizations to certain other civilizations. But I do like that they develop other things that are at least as interesting to do in the movie to give other conflicts to Black Panther, because there are other stories you can tell in addition to that basic underlying thing. Okay, y'all probably all knew all of that, but I just wanted to make sure we had that sort of on the record for this context.
No, it's solid, and I love as much as while I was watching Civil War and I rewatched it recently, it was like, wow, they burned through that story really quick.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
It did a really good job of establishing. I'm always so excited by who Black Panther is when he's with the Avengers, and it established him again as the adult in the room, because he literally in 2 hours goes through Tony Stark's entire arc of my parents, this guy, mother. I'm not gonna be a dick about it, and Tony's like. I'm busy beating up Captain America over this. It's the thing that happened 20 years ago. What?
He had nothing to do with it.
No, you do not get to be the adult here. He's like, yeah, no, I'm done.
I'm gonna destroy the team that I found.
It's only been a week, and you're being a responsible adult. No. It's like, yeah, dude, get your shit
I
together.
love that you brought that up, because with the movie, I kind of feel like it is what Iron Man was. It's something to. It feels like a restart, but it's also reinventing the superhero game like Iron Man did.
It is, and it's getting there's a piece I love Black Panther in the relation to other heroes, because it's
he's been on all the teams.
This is my favorite. This is my favorite page. I put it in there. It's the brown, and it's this very brown based one. It's from the Illuminati book.
Oh, okay.
And it's the Illuminati.
Necropolis.
Still mad at the concept of the Illuminati, even though they were very cool.
It was like they were. Well, the notion of it was like 5 or 6 of the most powerful people on Earth would get together and kind of. They were like, when the Skrull invasion happened, why didn't they come back? It's because these 5 people went to space and basically. Yeah. Threatened the Empire, and
so it's like some of the most powerful.
It was Namor, Black Bolt, Mr. Fantastic, Professor X, Doctor Strange, and Iron Man.
And Black Panther.
No, This is the thing, is
They
they
met.
invited Black Panther, and literally he said...
Do you want to read this?
Oh, yeah, and it's...
Please do.
I'm telling you now, end this. Walk away from this table and go home.
Now,
Like,
T'Challa.
what?
Wow, T'Challa.
You just decided all by yourselves that you are Earth's protectors, and that you, and only you, not your teammates or family, are trustworthy enough to include in the process. What happens when you disagree? When one of these earth-changing moments finds you all at odds with each other here in this secret meeting, what happens then? Walk away now. And he just walks the fuck out of the room.
Narration box.
Yeah, they did not. And it goes really, and it
I
literally...
forgot about that.
Yeah, he's the one who's like,
Wow,
this is the
nice.
worst idea ever. Stop this. And
Yeah.
they cut to like 5 issues later with Namor literally holding Tony Stark under the water, watching him drown.
Yeah.
Like, it's so...
I mean,
And
there's
like everything going wrong.
There's that's an important sort of linchpin of that whole New Avengers arc that Hickman did, because the team
Oh, yeah.
really does spiral out of control
And it's
as
literally...
they're trying to like save all of reality.
And
Like,
it's literally Black Panther going like, wow, that took a little longer than I thought. And just like getting, okay, coming in, cleaning up.
all right,
cleaning
I'll
up.
fix it.
Being the adult.
Yeah, he is the adult in the room, like in every conversation. It's really great.
It's
'Cause
really cool. It's so
She's the
good.
only one not wearing a costume.
So should we explain, because I cut you off as we were getting into
Yeah.
it, the Christopher Priest run goes a good long time.
Yes.
50, 60 issues?
They released a
button.
complete collection. I think they started in 2015 or it finished in 2015, but it's 4 volumes.
Big, nice chunks of paperback.
Yeah, it's a great Christmas gift.
You are gonna know somebody who wants one. It is going to be.
Yeah, I
It's a
can't
great run.
remember how many,
They
but it's
just
60,
like
70.
literally do everything. It feels like the only reason that it really ended was because there was nothing else to do. Like at a certain point, it's like
did-
we're in space, we do this,
They're
we do
all
that.
on
Did it
Unlimited.
get canceled or did Priest walk away?
If there's 60 issues or whatever, it's like, that's a lot of books.
That's a lot. Yeah.
It's a great deal. But I
98
do
to
know that
2003.
Hudlin, with hey, he gave us Shuri. So, this is just my own personal thing with like some of the stuff with but it did outsell Priest.
And that was the one that
back
turned
in
into
the
the
day,
animated,
so.
the weird little animated.
Yes.
Yeah.
In
That was
2010.
That was
BET.
Romita Jr., right?
That was Romita
The
Jr.
art was by John Romita Jr. It was written by Reginald Hudlin, who has a lot of background in other entertainment media as well. So was he involved in? Does
He
anyone
was
know
the
the
executive
decision to-
producer,
Okay.
I believe.
Yeah.
And we were talking about
We
this
were,
earlier.
because I just rewatched some
Because
of
like
it.
Jill Scott's a voice in it, Kerry Washington.
It is very uneven.
Yeah.
And I will say the voice work and voice casting is also very uneven. When people are good, they're good, and when they're bad, they're bad. And I blame the voice director.
Picky voice actor.
I'm a picky voice director too, and I'm like, and then there's like things like, what are you doing? Oh, what are you doing? And it definitely, but like, yeah, like Captain America does not sounds a little weird.
Would we
Just,
just,
he's
is
kind of
it
like this.
motion
But,
comic animated series would? Because I feel like they did both, and then I got confused.
It's kind of like a happy meet of the both with that. Not just motion comic, but then also
It's
it
too
feels,
pretty to be motion comic.
Yeah.
And it's
And
yeah.
Jimon
Hudson?
Thank you.
Thank
I don't know how to
Hudsu.
say it, but it looks like Hudson.
Yeah, it's like
He
HONSOU.
sounds Great.
He's a great voice
Great.
T'Challa.
Yeah, he is a great Black Panther, and
Yeah.
you can enjoy him in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Karak the Pursuer.
So what is so the is it Hudland? I always want to say like Hedgeland, and I know that that's not right.
Hudlin. Hudlin.
Hudland. That's the one I've only read like 5 or 6 of that whole run. So what's the actual like overarching kind of maybe theme or like story? Like, is there like an
kinda put me
identifying
off a
factor to
little.
that?
I'm middly on it too.
Yeah,
I
it
didn't
kind
like,
of put me off a little, so it's I'm
X-Men
not
show
as
up.
informed with it.
Yeah.
Because I just once he started treating my girl Storm.
Yeah,
so,
Storm-
Like there's
Storm
this
did not-
one, there's this one part where they're battling together, and she like knocks him down, and then he stops in the middle of battling to like chew her out. I'm like, what is this? They're OTP. They met when they were younger, and then like circumstances forced them apart, and then
How
they
did you
finally
feel
get
about the basic pairing? Because I just totally cut you off in the
Oh,
middle
no,
of it.
no,
But, like,
um,
I'm very curious because opinions were wildly
I
varied on
was
this.
always very middling on the pairing personally.
Oh, because like they like to pair certain characters
Some people
with
were
other.
like, oh, is it too obvious? And then other people were like, it's a demotion because she's somebody's wife. And then other people, like, I was the person who was like, what? And then later on I was like, Wait, no, actually, they make a great couple. I was wrong.
They would make an absolute. They're Marvel's power couple to me. Unfortunately, they're no longer married. It was like annulled. There's a whole thing involved with that.
But they are still close.
Right.
The problem with comics is the best scene dealing with that was in like one of the side books as like a one shot, and if you didn't happen to pick up that random side book, it
They're
thanks.
amazing.
Yeah,
They're
tear the
amazing.
Band-Aid off.
Oh yeah.
It was
It's like
really
you are
rough
not
and
my
abrupt.
wife anymore. Ouch.
Crossovers are bad, and they make you bad people.
Yeah. A-holes. As
Everyone
She-Hulk,
behaves
She-Hulk,
like jerks, and then you get a side book where they have a real conversation about it later. But if you didn't know about that side book, then it doesn't even help.
Yeah.
You need that on a shirt.
Any
Crossover will make
relationship
everyone jerks.
works if it's well written, and I feel like more often than not that relationship was not well written, which was one of the things that really, and it was a hard relationship to
So where did that relationship actually start? Was that in Hudlin?
I don't remember the exact run, but I remember that it's like they're young. They're younger, and it's around the time that she is, you know, that whole stealing kind of a thing, and he's on a rite of passage kind of a thing, and then they intersect because, you know, stars align, and it's like instant. It's like this is the thing. This is the thing, and then he still has some growing up to do. Blah blah blah. And they have to go their separate ways, and it's just they seem to keep on intersecting, and then it just comes to the point where it's like finally, and then he like gets engaged to Monica Lynn. It's like, what are you doing, dude? And then that falls through, and then there's this little possible thing with like Nakia, but she becomes Malice, so you know there's this other stuff, and it progresses to the point where it's like finally, the two of them get together, and it is everything that it's supposed to be. And there's this beautiful, grand wedding. I mean, everybody's invited. You know, Fantastic Four. You know, you've got Mr. and Mrs. Fantastic there. Spider-Man sitting them at an espresso machine, kind of a thing. It's
as Marvel weddings
beautiful
go.
and epic.
Yeah, it was up there.
So
Yeah.
this is a run I really need to track down, but like this was, I think most of these events happened during the Reginald Hudlin run, but there was a 6-parter written, and this is, because I was in and out of comics for a bit, sometimes I would miss something and later be like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
Eric Jerome Dickey, who is a novelist who writes
Wait, what?
amazing,
Yeah. I remember this.
He
like
did.
romance novels I got real hooked on in high school. He wrote a 6-parter that was a Storm series that was like deeply involved with all this stuff that I still have not tracked down to be like, what was the deal with that?
Oh my
because
God.
it made
This
me
is
feel
actually new to me.
I think it's from around that same time, from like
Okay.
circa 2006 when all this stuff is happening.
Maybe
Yeah.
I'm displacing.
There we are.
And
That must be it.
it's fascinating to me because I was a
look at
person who was
Pop.
like, I don't know about this idea, but then they literally got an
Hudlin.
author I love to come and do that, and
Countdown to the wedding of the century.
I gotta report back in when I've actually done the rest of my homework, and
I have
to
it
be like,
somewhere.
I can't believe that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have it somewhere. It was a pretty decent read. But yeah, and they did Radioactive Man. I mean, like, yeah, this was a weird.
The
and I
Hudlin
did-
one?
Yeah.
I also,
Is this also
They
where?
did a lot of fun things. Like there was this, I believe it was Hudlin, even did a thing with Black Panther and Spectrum. Spectrum is, well, who
Monica
knows?
Rambeau.
Yeah, Monica Rambeau. Who's probably in the Captain Marvel movie. She was Captain Marvel before Carol Danvers
That would
was
be
Captain Marvel.
Yeah, she was
So
Captain Marvel for a
amazing.
long time, y'all.
But they have this whole fun thing where he has her shrink down to get into Wakandan, like Wakandan security, like the actual computer. Shrink her down to take care of things in there, and maybe that was Next Wave. Comic books.
no,
comic books.
the shrinking was not a Next Wave.
Okay.
I can't believe I know that. Yeah, I love.
So for
we
those
haven't
of you-
talked about Next Wave. We're going to.
For those of you
I
who
go
don't
deep.
know, Monica Rambeau, aka Captain Marvel, aka
AKA
Spectrum,
Photon.
Pulsar.
Pulsar. Her power is that she can turn herself into any wavelength of light, essentially, which means like, I remember.
It's one of those Magneto powers where you're like,
Yeah.
that's kind of lame, and then you see someone do it and go, no, that's crazy.
Oh, that's insane. Yeah.
She battled Odin to like
Yeah.
stalemate.
She
When did that happen?
Oh God,
man.
it was one of the older ones. It was
I
one of the older
Amazing.
ones.
I think
yeah.
She
there's
was
another
a
one
lead
where-
Avenger for like a while.
She's in the Ultimates these days, right? If I recall.
Yes,
Yeah.
the current version where they're like
Yeah.
traveling through
the
space
team that's
and
called that but lives in the regular Marvel universe.
the team that has
Oh my God.
Galactus
because
on
Black
the
I love
Panther's
you,
also
Marvel,
on
but
that
get it together with the
team or
names.
was. I don't know if he still is. They're the ones who like made Galactus good or whatever.
Yeah,
you
I
know.
love that. Good stuff.
And America Chavez is on that team.
Yeah, because you need America Chavez on
yeah.
any team like that.
You got it. She's got to
didn't-
punch through space.
I didn't like the Wakanda in this book either. I feel like it was a visual downgrade in this book that they really didn't.
I mean, the palette's beautiful.
Yeah,
I like the
but
palette, but it's just
it
I
loses
don't know.
its-
After the priest run, it just wasn't it for me.
Yeah, I
That's
feel
all.
you.
Yeah, and I felt the same. I felt the same way. It just never grabbed me, which is why I didn't read as much of it. But like, does Namor attack in that one, or was that earlier?
Later.
It
That's
was.
Avengers
You mean like
versus
where
X-Men, yeah.
he
Wait, is
floods,
the
Flood.
he floods.
That's Avengers. That's AVX.
Is that when that
I
happened?
think that's during AVX. That sounds
When
about right.
he's one of the Phoenix Five.
No, before
Or
that.
Phoenix.
That's not AV. Oh, that is
I
AVX.
thought that was when he attacked
It
Wakanda.
might-
Am I
Yeah, he might have been like high on
Well,
Phoenix Force.
I mean, chat room could help.
Because
I believe he was high on Phoenix Force,
get
but
the
that's why he
timeline?
was all mad at Storm, because he was like, you should have stopped your people. And
Yeah.
like, she's just like, I don't control the X-Men, and also we're fighting for our survival, and everything's complicated, and crossovers make people jerks. And
Not that Namor needs a crossover to be a jerk, but
I mean,
yeah.
but he's not usually wrecking. I guess he's wrecking country sometimes.
He literally was introduced by
He
flooding
tried
New
to
York.
drown New York. Yeah,
He
okay,
tried to. That was like.
fine.
Yeah.
But that was like a long time ago, and he'd been
was
better.
going
That was
through some
Marvel
stuff.
number
And
one.
he has very specifically not apologized
Going through
for
some
that.
issues, you know.
He was like, "Do you want to say I'm sorry?" He was like, "No, I was just having a thing."
it's like
Service
make me say
world.
sorry,
It was a
or
bad
let's just
day.
move on.
There's a reason why. There's a reason why Reed Richards doesn't like having you around. No one likes you.
Yeah, but there's
Well, there's
like,
a lot of reasons Reed doesn't
Yeah.
want him around.
but like
Yeah.
during the current Ta-Nehisi Coates run, and I think they're like maybe even Doom War. Maybe I'm getting my
So
chronology
Doom War
mixed
is a
up.
thing. I think that probably
Oh,
happened
man.
before the Namor thing, right?
But that's what I.
That was the
that's,
six-parter.
That's what's
And,
driving me nuts. And
my
like I
timeline
read
is
so many Black Panther comics in the last like 3 weeks, and I still don't. I've literally read 100 Black Panther comics for like a whole other show that we're doing.
Kind of had a
later
bad
on.
run for a while.
I still don't know where the Namor thing happened, and I was like,
So
well,
I
if
think it
anyone's gonna
happened
know,
in
it's gonna be my
Avengers.
Wednesday Club or it's gonna be Markeia. And now
I know that it happens, but I'm having trouble placing it in the timeline right now, and I think it's because I was just reading
And World of
things
Wakanda,
like
it
this.
happens off panel during World of Wakanda, which is so frustrating.
Well,
because I was
see,
like,
that's what I'm
it's like
saying. I feel like so many
yeah.
of these books are like,
It's like
this
they're
thing
flooded,
happened, this
and
thing
then
happened,
they
this thing
start
happened.
climbing because they're like, you gotta
they're
escape
like-
the flood.
I'm like, what flood? Oh, that flood.
That flood,
Ah!
that one.
So I think roughly the Hudlin run leads you up to like it goes in between
Jackman's run
Priest
takes.
and the later like the Doom War, the Shuri taking over, which is sort of the tail end of his run. I
Right, and
believe.
then Shuri taking over, and then you have that one with David Liss.
Yes.
Where where then it's T'Challa. T'Challa is like a man without a country. You know, he's got to prove himself. He's going to go on sabbatical, and then he goes to Hell's Kitchen, and he's Daredevil for a
He
while.
Oh,
takes
that's
over
right.
Yeah.
And
Daredevil's
it's just like-
book. He
and
takes
that's-
over the numbering.
Literally,
Yeah,
your
he does.
your friend
It's
who
like
is
5'12",
royalty in another
something
country
like that.
shows up in Hoboken, New York, and like, can I crash on your couch for a while?
And
You're
then
going
he's
through
like,
a thing, let me take over.
Like none of he leaves everything behind, like everything. Like he has this whole
Cake on it.
conversation with Storm, like via laptop, where she's like, "Well, you know, baby, you gotta do what you gotta do," and you know, like I'll be here. You're all
man.
alone, and he's like, "Yeah, this is the way that I want it, Aurora. This is the way that I want it." That kind of thing.
Dick.
And he gets like fake papers from like Foggy, and he
Sure.
becomes like.
Foggy Nelson, Daredevil's best friend and
Yeah.
attorney partner.
He becomes like Mr. Okonkwo or something like that.
Okonkwo, that's right.
Yeah, and he's like owner of a diner and stuff. And
Oh my God.
Then
Oh, that's right.
along comes Vlad the Impaler.
Sure, why not?
You know, and he
Comic book Mad Libs.
the thing of it with it, I mean, the thing of it with it is that David Liss like basically takes all the stuff that I really like about T'Challa, and he just kind of strips it away, like the community, the cool weapons
yeah.
and everything. But it's like how he's part of this fabric of society, kind of a thing, and then just kind of plucks him into something. But he does keep a lot of the things that make him Marvel's Batman. Like he doesn't have the resources. He doesn't have the vibranium suit. He has vibranium nothing. but he's still able to trick things out from, and he even explains in the panels, be like, well, I may not have the vibranium, but I don't need that to be able to go buy some night goggles from, and he names a specific store. Kind of a
Oh,
thing.
that's kind of awesome.
Yeah, and then it's like he tricks out this belt thing, because like Vlad the Impaler's thing is that it's like he can briefly turn things into energy so that it can then enter someone and then it pops back into existence, and that's how you kill them.
Wow.
Oh,
He's
jeez.
weaponized Kitty Pryde. You're welcome.
There we go.
That's one.
There we go. So he tricks out this thing that it's like a joy buzzer on a belt to like, but that doesn't end up working. And then like Spider-Man shows up. It's comic books. Comic books are a
books.
hell of a drug.
The hell of a drug.
So,
Hell
so let me ask you this:
Okay.
the other part of the Black Panther mythology in the last like 10 years, where I get tripped up and confused, that at what part does he become the king of Necropolis and no longer the king of Wakanda?
Oh, that's the
And
cool
what does
stuff.
that actually
Very
mean?
cool.
That's, well, much like,
Phoenix
well, I mean,
Scott
like,
is
you're
yelling
going to
at
want to go
Foggy.
in.
They're like, Foggy, you are a lawyer. And that's the fake papers thing. Look, he's been Daredevil's best friend for so long, he doesn't even know where the
No.
line is anymore.
Yep. There is no line
There's
for
no
Foggy.
line.
Yeah.
It's the line is
Continue.
foggy.
Sorry.
No, but like,
Did you?
but yeah, I did. I feel bad.
I love it.
But like Doctor Doom's got like the magic and the science, and
Yeah.
like, and so like this is sort of the Wakandan version of like they've got where there is a. It was because he was a former Black Panther, because he lost it and got it back. So like that's sort of like he got to like tap into that post regal power, and they started bringing this really interesting spiritual essence to the whole books. I really have been digging that.
No,
Yeah,
I
it's
love
very
it, and I see a lot of the after effects of it, but the actual
When
part
did it
where
happen?
it happened, and what does it 100% fully mean?
This is why they should do
Well,
less crossovers.
Oh, from what I
Like, does my question
from
make
what
sense?
it does. Like,
When did it
I'm
kick?
trying to picture the panels in my head right now for it. I'm the only one that I can picture is when after he's blessed by Bass, the Panther god, and he's in like standing there and he's like, and now you are the god of the dead or something like that. And there's all the other Panthers around him, like the past Panthers. It's that he's in Necropolis, and I'm blanking on the panels before that.
Is it in Jonathan Hickman's Fantastic Four that some of this happens?
Yeah, well, Hickman.
They do a few good tours through Wakanda, but I'm not sure.
I feel like this was a Hickman thing, because Hickman's grand master plan for rebooting the Marvel Universe was totally intertwined with this. This was like, and this is where so much of like our most
Avengers and
recent
New Avengers
great
and-
Black Panther. Hickman, people, I'm so sorry. Jonathan Hickman is this insane genius.
Really
he's,
is. I
he's
love
the Nikolai
Hickman.
Tesla of comics, where you're like, what are you building? I don't understand. It's expensive and complicated. What the fuck is this supposed to? Oh my God.
It does what? That's amazing. How did
Teleport?
you?
It makes you a clone and then teleports it? You're David Bowie? Ah. But yeah, he's
Whenever you can, be David Bowie.
He'd always be
Be
David
David
Bowie.
Bowie.
Always
If
be
you-
Bowie.
If you can't be Batman, be David
Be
Bowie.
David.
ABB. Always be Bowie.
And if you are Batman, try
Always
being
be
David
Batman
Bowie.
or Bowie.
Be a Batman, David Bowie.
Crash Test Gremlin is
That's
saying
Batman Bowie.
it's Hickman's run before everything died.
Thank
So it
you.
could have been Fantastic Four, or it could have been the pages of his New Avengers.
So yeah,
Okay.
there's this giant
Thank
Hickman
you.
thing that happened that we will get into one day, where Hickman kind of
yeah,
created
good
this
luck to us.
giant mechanism for rebooting the Marvel Universe over a
I feel like
span of
we're going to need a
7
PowerPoint
years.
presentation.
It is going to. There are charts involved.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. There really are. There
this.
really
There
are.
are charts
I
and
once
maps
laid
and
out
graphs.
the issues of Infinity on the floor to try to make that chart that
Yeah.
was like the reading order guide. Sorry, comics are a mess.
You look like the guy who died before the creepy Necronomicon story happened. Like it's just like there's string and pictures everywhere.
And then at the end, there's the Will Smith picture where he's like,
Yeah, I think it happened in the Hickman. Oh God. So
Well, the Hickman
Oh,
one's where I
geez.
get one of my favorite Doctor Strange moments of all time, the New Avengers.
Doctor Strange and Punisher in the.
No, that's awesome too.
Okay.
That's awesome too.
Sorry.
No, the one where they had like the Justice League analogs from a whole other universe when the universes collide.
Oh yeah.
And
oh.
the Avengers, like the Justice League, beats the shit out of the Avengers, and Doctor Strange is like, okay, and he kills everybody.
When did this happen?
This was during the
This was during the New Avengers.
The
This
New
was,
Avengers Hickman run.
New Avengers somewhere between 20 and 30.
Oh, when they're hopping to all the different.
When,
Yeah.
when the
when they're-
incursions are
All the
happening.
white events.
And the
Oh
the
man,
Justice
it's
League
so good, but
thing
it's so
happens.
much.
It's like Sunman or whatever.
Yep.
And there, it's like very clearly Wonder Woman, very clearly Superman, and the Justice League murders the Avengers. And everyone's like, oh my God, our universe is going to end. Like, we've lost. And then the Dr. Fate analog is like messing with Doctor Strange. And he's like, and Doctor Strange is like, you're a curator. You collect all these mystical things. You don't even understand what they are. And then like he uses magic and rips his helmet off of his head and goes, I know the words, bitch. And he just like summons Cthulhu, like these tentacles reach down and like rip the planet apart. And all of the Avengers are just like, oh shit. And I was screaming. I was like, yeah! Yeah! That's my boy!
There was some good Doctor
Yeah.
Strange in that Hickman run,
Yeah.
man.
But what's
some
amazing
good
about
Black
the
Panther
Hickman
in
run
that
is
Hickman
that
run.
it started off in the first six issues. I was like, he doesn't get Doctor Strange. I'm going to hate this.
Yep.
Anyway,
Yeah,
No, I
no.
love that.
It always
I love that.
Hickman is always a bunch of like, you better be going somewhere with this shit because holy fuck,
Yeah.
dude. And then like, oh, you went there.
you went there and more!
Holy
So as we're navigating sort of runs for folks, following Hudlin, following there's a war with Doctor Doom. There's Namor wrecking
Doomor.
shop because he's all
Yeah.
Phoenix possessed.
Everybody-
Wasn't a fan
There's a
of
bunch
Doomor.
of stuff that
Everybody
happens.
keeps attacking Wakanda.
And
Yeah, at that point.
It becomes cliche.
rough times. Shuri gets to be Black Panther for a bit, which is
Yeah.
awesome. Storm's kind of Black Panther for a bit, which is weird,
Kinda,
but cool.
yeah.
It's weird, but it works.
And
But-
You know, it's all right. Shuri's always been my Black Panther. I mean, Storm's everything else, you know? It's like,
Well,
she doesn't have to be Black
she doesn't
Panther.
need to be Black Panther. She's
There-
got her own thing going on.
They
Yeah.
had also by this point established the once a year challenge, which I always thought was really, really cool. What a great way to automatically
Challenge
bake
Day.
in. Challenge Day is like baking
Yeah.
in a good story every 12 issues, no matter what.
Yeah.
It's not Challenge Day.
It's like not only do you have to be the king that we deserve, and we know that it's hereditary. Oh, we didn't even talk about the heart.
We have not.
Herb.
We've
No.
left off a lot
Yeah.
of mythology.
Yeah,
We
so
have.
There's a lot.
Let's jump back to some basics real quick, like heart-shaped herb. What is it?
Yes. It is a gift from Bass, where
Panther god.
the Panther god, where depending on depending on the run that you read,
Go with your favorite.
it's okay.
Yeah.
So it's a hereditary thing where once you have, you're titled as Black Panther. You eat this heart-shaped herb, and you become you embody like all of these supernatural aspects. Well, that's supernatural. It's like you're like peak human condition. Like everything's on point. Battle Captain America to a standstill. Probably take out Wolverine. Kind of peak human type. Okay, real quick tangent. So Shuri.
Who is
Really?
his sister? I don't know if we've said that.
Younger sister.
Yeah, half.
Younger sister. Well,
Depends, yeah.
well, yeah. I guess if we're gonna go because Ramonda is actually his stepmother, but she's Shuri's birth mother, kind of thing. But like Shuri wants to really be Black Panther, like really. She's like, oh, and she trains and everything with it. Like she's not only is she's like technologically minded, but she is lethal. Like, oh my God, she's got everything. And she's like, I would be the best possible ruler for us. Things happen to T'Challa, so she goes through the process to become Black Panther. She's standing there in front of Bass, and Bass goes, "No, you're too arrogant. No, this isn't going to happen." And Shuri's like,
I remember that.
well, you know what? Screw you. I'm doing it anyway. So without the heart-shaped herb and all of the supernatural like peak human thing, she just goes and does it anyway.
That was in
that's why I love
Claws of
Shuri.
the Panther, right?
What's it?
It's the story that happened in the book Claws of the Panther. It was like a
Oh,
miniseries,
I'm not certain.
I think.
I'm not certain. But I just know that I
Possibly
absolutely
take
love
that,
it.
yeah.
I absolutely love it. And it's just like, yes,
But
Shuri,
if you're Black
yes.
Panther, once a year, everybody gets to make a line and challenge you
Challenge
to a
day.
fight to become the new Black Panther. So
There you go.
every year you got to hold
be
the title.
You got to read. You got to.
Which
Yeah.
But hey,
also
think about
seems
it.
a little
If you
unfair.
don't want to do
Hey,
it,
if the
then you could
WWE
just,
can do
Like,
it.
oh, too bad.
WWF.
Can't be
Well, but like,
king.
think about it. Like if 70 people challenged T'Challa saying, "I want to be the king," all right, he's got to like, by person 50, they're not beating Black Panther, 49 other people have beat Black Panther. They're the lucky one
That's
who's
fair.
like, all right, Black Panther. He's just like, let's.
That's a fair scenario.
So,
But he's T'Challa and you're you,
Yep.
so good luck.
fair enough. Fair enough. I'm just saying.
Not you, Matt Key, but like you, anyone.
Well, no, I would never want to rule Wakanda. I'm not.
done
That's
that?
not for me.
I haven't
This is new.
dug as far.
I'm really digging this.
Oh, it looks
Yeah.
so good.
Doesn't that look
And, like-
fantastic?
Just
Did
came
you
out
see like the new?
Oh, yeah, I just got it.
Right.
And,
Where it
like,
has like the name or
The very first story is World War II
He's
Captain
looking
America.
at Rise of the Black Panther.
Black
They're doing they're revisiting the origin again. This time, Ta-Nehisi
T'Challa's
Coates is writing with
grandfather.
Evan Narcisse.
Oh.
It is not it's T'Challa's grandfather
Yeah,
meeting Captain
not-
America and fighting Baron Strucker for the first time.
So T'Chaka's the father, and Cyan is the uncle.
Uncle Sam.
Hold on. Yeah, I didn't know this one. He was new for me.
And I don't remember the grandfather's name. A lot of their
Azuri.
cities are named.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
The-
Like I know the son's name is it's really close to that actually. It's like Azara, right? And that's Storm and T'Challa's boy.
Oh.
Yeah,
So-
their boy.
This is
Yeah,
I've got to say I had
They
a
have-
lot of fun with this book. It's like a good primer. Rise. I mean, like I like the art design. I like the writing. This is definitely getting a high.
Yeah, and this is a really nice remake of how it's like originally done with, because when Claw kills T'Chaka, the way that they set it up, it's like Wakanda wasn't that. They only became technologically advanced since T'Chaka's death. Up to that point,
You're
for
talking about
the run that they're.
in Fantastic Four when they first introduced them.
No. I'm talking about like what they're remaking right here.
Yeah.
Like in
Gotcha.
Rise of the Panther.
Because that's the way it was also in Fantastic Four 52, is that T'Chaka got killed and
And then he-
T'Challa was like, all right,
Picks up
we're
the
going to use this
sound gun.
vibranium. Yeah.
Picks up the sound
And
gun.
T'Challa's the one who kind of
and then
ushers
jumps
them
in.
into like this new
It's-
age of
Just
like
for
hyper
the
tech.
comic book side note element here is that vibranium has a special quality as a metal, which is that it absorbs vibrations, which gives it particular qualities that make it incredibly valuable. And Ulysses Claw traditionally has this sort of a variety of sound weapons. So not only is he just generally interested in profiting from things, but he has a particularly keen interest in vibranium because that's his whole deal, is sound vibrations.
And then in Doom War, as much as I actually disliked the story itself, I did like that Doom forced T'Challa to acknowledge the more mystical aspects of vibranium. And he created like this new sort of like particle science that mixes quantum physics with alchemy and vibranium, like all this weird thing where I was like, I'm not enjoying this book, but I do like that.
Yeah, and even in Priest's run, because of the vibranium that gives them so many resources to work with. Like for instance, Okoye in the Priest run, for one of the many things, like when T'Challa first comes to America, he's like, okay, so we're not going to kill anybody, and he tells the Dora Milaje, hey, by the way, we're not killing anybody because of law. So they have all of these non-lethal weapons, and like Okoye has ectoplasm bullets where you shoot, it's like a regular gun and you shoot someone with it and it makes them chill. It's like, all right, you got to chill. You got to take a nap. Take a nap.
You
time.
must chill.
Chill out time.
It's the only adult in the room. That is the superpower of Wakanda. Only, and like they're getting into like really interesting aspects, like how their neighbors feel about having this huge unconquered technological wonder of a country, and how it kind of irritates everybody else on the continent a lot.
Like
Yeah,
the country below them, Naganda, like
Naganda,
N-I-G-A-N-D-A.
they're usually it's usually where all the bad
Ooh.
people come from. They're
Ooh,
like,
they-
can we come up through here? And they're like, yeah, just
Yeah,
do
I'd be
your
like,
stuff.
hey, just
Borders
do
that
it.
way.
Borders that way. Go
Yeah.
do your thing.
So now we're
I
getting
love,
into the
chat is full of people going like, Azari, my boy! Like,
Yeah.
for the kid.
So now we're getting a bit into the Ta-Nehisi Coates run, which is the current run. What are our thoughts on that?
He is a great writer. He's a great writer. I love his speeches, and I feel like he brought a lot of that into T'Challa's story. Some things that I'm not as on board with it is that it feels very Western influenced.
Yeah.
As opposed to having T'Challa be in the Western world, but still like literally surround himself with Wakanda, with, you know, the Dora Milaje, like his entourage, or like these shamans, you know, and everybody showing up. And it just seems, and maybe it's just, you know, the progress of the times, where it's like once you open up Wakanda to the world is then open to Wakanda. So I can understand that, but it did like put me off just a little bit, like just a little, but it's still a great story.
So Ta-Nehisi Coates is known as a nonfiction writer primarily, and an amazing thinker, and brings really cool ideas to it. But it is interesting because they start out immediately with sort of internal fracturing of Wakandan society, and I had a certain element of like, I don't want to see Wakandan society fracture, but I also had to admit that I was like, but it's kind of working and it's compelling, and I really like Io and I'm messing with
Anika?
Anika, thank you.
Yeah.
Like I love them, even though I'm mad at them for being mad at him.
The Midnight
like
Angels,
that's just a
right?
comic book
Midnight
person in
Angels.
me.
So World of Wakanda.
Yeah.
So I've been reading.
Lovely.
That's an interesting read.
It is.
I'm really enjoying, and I like that and I love the way that they're developing his royal guard as being. It's not his royal guard. They're not. I'm sorry. That's actually one of the things I really like. They're technically not really guarding him. They're guarding Wakanda, and like either he's on board or not. But they're kind of. It's almost the purview. It's like a secret service that can kind of go, "Nah, you're being a dick. We're not going to really. We're going to stay here. You do what you're going to."
You're not being Wakanda right now.
Yeah, they really have like a lot of leeway over what they decide is their purview, which is kind of fascinating.
I like that. And then along with that, you get this theme that comes out of World of Wakanda, where it's like not only like you're seeing their story and you're seeing their origins, well, the origins of these two particular people in the Dora Milaje, and then you see them have this conflict because, like, for instance, if you have Okoye and she's like this staunch, you know, traditionalist kind of a thing, and then you have Ayo and Anika, and it's kind of like, oh, let me kind of see the other side of that, where it's like somebody very much believes in Wakanda, but also is not afraid of having their own thoughts, their own feelings, and going for what they believe is right. And then it's also, yeah, kind of agree.
Yeah, but
But
at what cost?
But at what
But
cost?
at what cost? Sorry.
I have so enjoyed avoiding the tension of like passing judgment on monarchy because I just love Black Panther and I'm cool with him being king. You know, where it's like there. So I do have an element, even though like I think the Coates run is fabulous, and Brian Stelfreeze does amazing art, and Chris Sprouse is amazing. Like they've got amazing teams behind it. And I'm sort of like, but I don't want to think through the implications of whether monarchy is a good system of government because you're Black Panther and you're the king of Wakanda. But that's not a real like literary criticism response
Yeah,
to
well,
that
like
book.
there's- the part where it hit me the hardest was when like you see Black Panther and you see this character, this hero that you've grown to love, and there's political revolution in T'Challa's country in Wakanda, and he doesn't know what to do. And who is it? The
Hatut
Zeruze,
the
the
secret, like the
war
secret
dogs,
police.
right?
Yeah,
the white wolves.
led by White Wolf Hunter.
Yeah, that's right. So
Yeah.
one of them suggests, well, we should reach out to some of these like more corrupt countries and find out how they quell revolutions. And then there's I think it's early in the run, it's like issue 5 or 6, where they've got like 6 or 7 of the worst, most corrupt like right hands to dictators all in a room saying, well, you've got to quell the revolution. You want to be insidious and maybe like cut off the head. And T'Challa's just like,
Oof.
oh no, and like you don't see his immediate reaction. You just hear the suggestions in the room, and it leaves the reader going, wait, how much of that did T'Challa actually entertain? Because none of that was good.
Yeah.
But it's like it shows like it at that point it's like showing the links that T'Challa will go through to protect the country. Like, and it's very like there's these draconian sort of elements to it where you're just like.
It's like, is he going to become a despot without
meaning to? Where's this
like
going,
it's-
man? So
It's a
one of
heck
my,
a thing.
I pulled one of my favorite quotes. This is from the Ta-Nehisi Coates run.
I think it's Ta-Nehisi.
Am I saying?
Ta-Nehisi?
What am I saying?
I think just some letters switching around.
Oh, okay.
I always do Annika just because of my sister.
So he says, the day after I became king, Cyan, his uncle, offered a single piece of wisdom. Power lies not in what a king does, but in what his subjects believe he might do. This was profound, for it meant that the majesty of kings lay in their mystique, not in their might. Every act of might diminished the king, for it diminished his mystique. Might exposed the king's power and thus his limits. Might made the king human, breakable. And so some amount of my might I have kept from the world, allowing the legend and the myth to fill in the gap. For what the people know not is the true power of kings. My uncle Cyan is dead now, murdered by another king. I loved him, but I wish he'd told me not just the power of kings, but of the might of people. I wish he'd warned me that they, too, have secrets.
There's a lot of poetry in this run. There's some good.
I was pretty good.
And that's like
Read
the one,
him.
That's some
He's
Shakespearean-
got it.
That's
He's
the
got
one
it.
quote I pulled of a mini. I was like, oh, that's a quote I need to pull. Not gonna have time to just do a reading. Just pick the one that hits you the hardest.
Solid.
So we've got. It has been really nice in the last couple of years because they have committed to publishing interesting Panther stories. They tend not to the side series keep getting canceled.
Yeah.
Which
It keeps getting canceled by comics, by Black Panther comics.
Why? The coach run is still going strong. They've renumbered it now, so as if it was one long run, which is why you'll get to a certain point and the numbers are going to jump up, but that's deliberate. They're just like, all right, we don't want to keep going with the number ones.
I'm going to be weird here. I'm going to ask, as the two people in here who have cheated.
He's
I
never
had to
gonna
find
let
out
it
from
go.
Brian.
He's never gonna.
It's like stepmom telling you that your girlfriend broke up. It was just awful. Okay, that was just awful and it hurt. Still hurts. Would you say this is a movie that people should go into without if you've never read a Black Panther comic, do you go see the movie and then find the Black Panther comics?
I don't think there's a wrong order.
Every now and then there are comic book movies where I'm like, just go and fall in love with these characters and then go find them, where it's just one of the or it's one of those things of you're gonna want a base layer, or are you gonna want a base layer necessarily, or I know that no matter what that can be.
It's probably helpful to have seen Civil War.
I think it would be helpful to see Civil War, but it's not necessary. But I think to see Civil War because to see that version of it, think of the Spider-Man that you see in Civil War. Would you enjoy Spider-Man Homecoming as much if you just saw Spider-Man Homecoming and didn't see him interacting with the other Avengers? That's kind of like.
But I didn't need to read Spider-Verse to enjoy.
No,
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
exactly.
Right.
So it's to see Civil War, to enjoy him being the adult in the room, kind of a thing, and then seeing him in his own country with his own purpose. I would recommend it, but it isn't necessary.
I think a lot of people are going to see this movie without background and come out loving this world and these characters.
I feel like it's incredibly relatable.
We've got 7 minutes left, and we
Yeah,
still
we
have
gotta
our
do.
5-minute topic. So, do we have our topic? What is it? What did Liz choose to torture us with?
We have to scroll.
Maybe just me.
Is there a winner? Let's see. Where is the winner? Am I insane?
And the rule is that
Hey,
you
found it.
have to go first.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
So it is
This
time.
the topic.
It is
Okay.
time for our Wednesday Club 5-minute topic, and the winning topic this week comes from Geek Mama 3,
Geek Mama 3.
who asks, "What other superhero would make a good monarch, and which would be the worst?"
Oh my God, and we've already started. Hey everyone, this is
Yeah.
the Wednesday Club. You can catch us on the Geek and Sundry Twitch and on Alpha every Wednesday night at 7. And the topic, well, you just heard it.
Are
so
you
we're
just
going.
buying time?
Yeah, no, I don't know what I'm doing. All right, who would?
Which other superhero would make a good monarch, and which would be the worst?
The worst is always easier. That's almost cheating.
Then, if you know it, go.
Gladiator would be the worst that I could think of.
Gladiator from the Shield?
Imperial
From the
Guard?
Shi'ar Imperial Guard.
I
Because
think he'd be a good king.
no, I think he'd be. He was briefly a king of the Shi'ar Empire and was kind of a mess. And part of it is because the more right he thinks he is, the stronger he is.
Oh, that's
and that's
a
a
bad
problem.
quality.
That is a bad quality of somebody who is literally stubbornness is actually his superpower.
Ooh, you know who I think would be a terrible monarch? Might be controversial. Batman.
I was just, darn
yeah,
it, I should have
no.
said it first.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
No,
Take
that's
it.
good.
No,
it's
this is yours.
No, it's good.
Because if you because Batman is a great protector and hero and defender of justice. But the second you give Batman like that sort of monarchical power, he becomes Game of Thrones. Like, and it's it becomes like despotic rule by right? Like, am I like that's what I feel like would happen with Batman. Like there would be like he would start with mercy, but then he would see that mercy is letting crime. Like there's some crime that's getting away from him, and he would start cracking down on it harder until it's nothing but just like military rule. So I don't think Batman works as a monarch.
Everybody I keep thinking of has already kind of ruled a country before. It's really frustrating.
What are your reasons for Batman being bad? Or no King Bat?
Well, because he's his own island.
Yeah.
Like he has his own rules, his own morality with things. He does not play well with others at all.
Yeah.
How in the world is he going to lead anybody? He literally is a lone wolf.
Yeah.
Like he is that. But I did think about somebody else. Hulk. Hulk would be a horrible monarch.
But he's also been a monarch.
I know he's been
God,
a monarch.
everybody's been a
They've
monarch.
been a monarch.
Yeah, but his was an alternate universe.
No.
No,
it was in the
Planet Hulk?
future.
Planet Hulk.
Oh my God, no!
World
I
War
forgot
War.
about Planet Hulk.
Where he takes out the Illuminati because, S&Gs, how dare you send me somewhere
Yeah, I
when
was
I
thinking
didn't want to
future
go.
and perfect.
No, not Maestro. We can do, but like I was immediately, my thought was like, I bet Ironheart would be good, but also has already been a monarch. She
Yeah,
briefly ruled
Latveria.
Latveria and was pretty good at it.
Like
She's
early,
also
she,
like a kid. Give her some time.
She did okay though. She was actually pretty good.
yeah, like 12
I'm
issues
just
into her
thinking-
run, she's like, "What's up? I rule Latveria."
That's just real early to have the burden of monarchy. I just feel like she should get to sow some wild oats before she has to. But like,
Yeah.
you know who is basically like, poor thing. I think she could handle it because she has been prepared for this, unfortunately, by a lifetime of never getting to just do her own thing.
who'd you
Jean
say?
Grey.
Oh,
Think she would be a good monarch?
I think she would be good. I like the stress would basically kill her, but she has been the mom of everyone around her for so long. Like, I don't think she knows how to just like do what Jean wants first. You know what I mean? She's got that like that taking care of people, kind of trying to do what's best for them. Like, I don't think she would enjoy being queen, but I think she'd be good at it.
See, I'm immediately now like Emma Frosting of this.
Yeah. I was just thinking, might be a good monarch, Madrox. Because would learn, like, has all of the multiple versions and stuff, can't assassinate him.
Can have
You know,
yeah.
because you don't know who you're,
Good call.
who
He's
you're
got
killing.
all those Padme doubles everywhere he goes.
and then
Yep.
and then he's going to retain all of that knowledge and become even wiser. He has all this responsibility.
That'd be a good Days of Future.
That he might actually make a pretty good monarch.
That'd be a pretty good one.
Nice.
I'm into that.
Okay, who hasn't given a good or a bad? How much time is?
We have a minute.
we have a minute. You know, so
did you do good?
I haven't done good yet. I don't want to say this because I said the name earlier, but I can't help but think that this guy would be a great monarch, Nightcrawler.
Oh my God! Why are you picking my brain?
No, I thought you were.
No, I did Madrox because I was like, I was going to say Nightcrawler, and then it's
can we
like,
just make him Pope or something?
Yeah, he could be
Yeah,
like
he could
he
be
could be
Pope.
the Holy Roman Emperor,
Yeah,
right?
that
Like
would be
Oh
kinda-
my God.
he would like
Pax Wagner.
he's kind-hearted, he's loving, he's compassionate, and when there's a problem, bamf bamf. What's going on? Cool, I can handle this. Bamf bamf. Hey, this person over here needs this one thing to handle this political dissent. Cool, bam bam bam. Hey, this
We need
person's
to
gonna be
talk
here.
to the
Like,
king about the stench he leaves throughout the castle.
There's that.
yeah, it smells like brimstone every time he leaves the room. But,
The only
yeah.
reason why I didn't think about Nightcrawler is because I felt like he's so strongly influenced by strong females. So then I
Yeah.
thought that he would become like what's his name from Game of Thrones.
Tyrion?
Like I drink it and then
Oh,
I'm
no,
dying.
Joffrey?
Joffrey.
Yeah.
I was thinking like he would become a
wouldn't be
Joffrey. Like,
Joffrey.
Well,
it
not a
depends
cruel
if he has-
maniac,
not a
but
cruel
like a
maniac, but it's
puppet
like a
maybe.
puppet.
Oh, a puppet ruler.
But
Gotcha,
see,
gotcha.
I do think he
gotcha.
does have that quality where he would listen to. Oh no!
Yeah.
Bing.
And with the flash, with the smoke.
That's been our 5-minute
Tony
one-shot
Stark,
topic
bad
on the
king.
Wednesday Club.
Don't do
Terrible
it.
king.
That's my answer. Tony
Yeah.
Stark, bad king. Don't let it happen.
Oh my God.
Oh,
he is
he'd be
so bad.
horrible.
All right.
Anyway,
We've got.
Thank you for watching the Wednesday Club. This has been our 5-minute topic. I'm Amy Dallen.
I'm Taliesin Jaffe.
I'm Markeia McCarty.
And Matt Key, join us here every Wednesday at 7 o'clock on Geek and Center Twitch. We
Yeah.
already said that. All right. Bye. All right, now we're back.
We have about 2 minutes left in the show.
1 minute,
1 minute
according to
left in the
producer
show.
Liz,
1
not
minute.
librarian Liz.
Oh, final thoughts. Anything else people need to know about Black Panther?
Oh gosh. Go see this movie because we'll read the comic books just because it's something different. It's outside of your box, and it's a really good box to play in. I really do recommend Christopher Priest's run for everything, especially if you grew up in the 90s or you know 90s movies at all. You'll get the time play, you'll get the element with it, and you'll get that Everett Ross is kind of like a Michael J. Fox character meets Chandler Bing.
I get that.
I mean, there's a great joke in that run where like Everett Ross is sitting next to like the Wakandan devil, and the Wakandan devil gives him pants, and he's just like, "Did I just sell my soul for pants?"
Where do people find you? Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for being
Thank
here.
you for having me. Oh my God, this was so great.
We'll have to have you back some other time. Any other time.
Awesome.
So we have to go. Where can people find you if they're just now tuning in? Marvel, you can say it.
Yeah. You can find me on Marvel Movie News, 2 p.m. PST. That's on Popcorn Talk. Look at my Twitter, my Instagram, at Markeia McCarty. It has a silent E in there, but I think...
Markeiamccarty.
Oh,
I need to see
There you
the
go.
full Mickey Mouse Club that goes with that.
It's
Like,
a joke from the Marvel Movie News days.
Is there a routine though?
Well-
I mean, there was, but we have to shut it off.
Ah!
We have to wrap it up.
But we love
you
you.
for
We'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Stay tuned for Weave.
Stay tuned for week.
Oh, stay tuned for Weave.
We're debuting a new
It's
show
amazing.
next. We're gonna play some games. We're gonna do a story game called Weave, and I'm gonna do my first public DMing. It's fine.
It's gonna be
fine.
amazing.
It's gonna be great. We love you. Goodbye.